this is the big one
Doesn't.
too. You know, and it's like some people would like make more of a big deal out of like the 10th episode, which I mean, you know, we did make mention of it, but
We did.
this is like this episode coincides with something that we remember that
Far more indelible in our minds.
yeah, because while this is our 12th episode, and we don't, you know, generally when we record an episode, it takes me a little while to edit. It's been taking longer lately, but generally have the episode out within the week of recording it. So today marks, well, tomorrow. I should say.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow marks 12 years since Dave Brockie passed away. So here we are the day before, and we want to do a special tribute, special episode dedicated to Dave Brockie, to our memories, to our experiences, to what we loved about him and everything that he did with the bands that he was in from what we know. And just, I mean, we could fill up some time with this.
And this is not even like in any inherent deep, you know, like dives. This is just basic love, adoration, and a memory for the man, the myth, the legend that is Dave Brockie, or that was.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Dave Brockie.
dude. And yeah, the thing is, it's like there are so many things that you could probably go deep down on any celebrity or whatever, and like stories that I couldn't tell you. You know, I don't know every single thing about Dave Brockie. I just know that I was there when he was alive. That we saw him live on stage numerous times.
Mm-hmm. And you, especially more than me, in the later part of the years.
Yeah. I mean, shit, we even had to lie to our parents about some of those experiences.
Me growing up, I had to lie a lot.
There's one in particular that I'll never forget, and that was the one in Connecticut, which we're from New York. You know, we grew up in Flushing, Queens, and Gwar was playing in Connecticut at a place called Toad's Place, and it was a big deal for us because this was that tour that Michael Bishop came back as Beefcake.
That's right, the return of Michael Bishop.
It was the return of Michael Bishop as Beefcake. Yeah, and it was just for that tour. And he ended up being on the recording of We Kill Everything also, which was awesome for us too.
Stellar, man, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we're going. We're doing this. And it's like I told my parents, I was like, look, we really need to go to the show. Okay? And you know, my buddy from across the street was going to drive. No, actually, no. He had a friend who was going to drive us because to us, New York to Connecticut was like, oh my God, that's so far away.
Fucking might as well be Paris.
Exactly. It's like when you don't drive, when you don't have a car,
it's eons,
and someone else is driving, it's like, wow, man, I can't believe I mean, dude, thinking back, it's just crazy that like we went to Connecticut, and back then that was like, wow, that's eons away, you know.
Dude, that was like catching a train in like Eastern Europe and going to like, like from like Poland to like up past like Russia and then like going through like, and like, it's because it was such a far, like when you're young, you know this, like when you're young, your realm is so tiny, you know, it's so infinitesimal. It's like your neighborhood, you know, and branching out of your neighborhood is such a big ordeal. So going anywhere, like that's like another state, could be like an hour drive, but it's just such a massive ordeal to undertake. Like,
yeah, and it was a big deal because we're going out of state to see Gwar. It's like, yeah, we're like, you know, we're those guys who travel to see our favorite band now, you know.
Yeah.
And I just remember that like we're at the gig, we're at the Gwar show, and you know, obviously they didn't come on yet. I think the opening band went on, and I can't remember if that was one of the ones that the Misfits opened on. They were, right? Yes.
Possibly. I'll be honest, everything conflates after like 10 years.
Because it was Hatebreed, Misfits, and then Gwar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I remember that because Hatebreed's from Connecticut.
Yes.
And then
massively popular at the time too.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Hometown.
Yeah, and because I remember somebody had like one of the like a basketball jersey. That's
I had one too. The Hatebreed one.
And on the back it said Connecticut Hardcore, and I'm like, oh well, that makes sense that they're here because this is where they're from. And I remember Jamie Jasta, right?
Yes.
Saying,
Correct.
saying on the microphone that, let's give it up for the Misfits, because if it wasn't for the Misfits, we wouldn't have a band name. So,
That's right. Yeah.
hey, breeders, oh. But anyway, I remember after, I believe it was after the Misfits went on, you're like, all right, I got to call my mom. I'm like, oh, okay. And you're like,
I
yeah,
blocked all this stuff out of my memory.
and you're like, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, are you okay? And you're like, yeah, I just got to let her know that I'm here. And I'm like, what? You're like, yeah, I didn't tell her I was coming. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man.
Well, because not to cut it off, but just to add to that point, I didn't tell her because it would have been a fight. Like she would have said no, and I still would have gone anyway. So at least give the illusion of everything being copacetic and just let her know when it's too late. Because worst case scenario, if she felt so inclined, she can come pick us up, free ride.
There you
Free
go.
ride back.
But we had that dude, one of our buddies, who he worked with or whatever, and we're like, when we saw him, he looked like an '80s rocker, like
Yeah.
not like dressed like like Motley Crue type of thing, but he had like the jeans, like with the rip on, the Rush T-shirt with the flannel over it. I'm like,
General like 80s, early
yeah.
90s aesthetic.
And I remember asking him, I'm like, does he know like what's going to happen to those clothes?
Yeah, it's gonna get fucked. Dude, I remember my first Gwar show.
Dude, so do I. We went to that one.
Yeah.
I know you were making the joke from
Beer fest.
Beer Fest. I remember my first
My
Gwar
first
show.
beer.
But dude, I mean, our first Gwar show was together, and
Yeah,
that
man.
was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest things because our buddy, same buddy that had the friend who took us to Connecticut. He was like, he's like, dude, Jacques Cousteau just died. Do you think they're gonna play it? I'm like, dude, they might, and they fucking opened with it. Fucking Jacques Cousteau comes out, the guy with the fake head and all that stuff, and he's speaking with a French accent. Dude, the crowd was going so nuts. I have no idea what the hell he was saying.
Yeah.
Even watching the video, I have no idea what he was saying. And our buddy Andy, he's just going nuts. He's like jumping and fucking going insane because that was his favorite song.
Yeah.
Great
song.
He's like, oh my God, like going insane. And like, we're just like slapping high five. And dude, like I remember at one point because the crowd got so nuts. Luckily, I was wearing gym shorts under my jeans. I got pushed around so much, my pants fell. So I'm standing there, like with my pants around my ankles. I just look around. People like notice. I'm just like, I just shrug my shoulders and pull my pants up. No one said a word. No one really had a problem with it. I mean, it just happened. But that show, man, when when Oderus came out with the sword, you hear the drums, and like everybody's going nuts. Fuck you, old man! And just, the whole song started, the whole show started, and the place was just insane. And
yeah, just roarous, man. Just it was absolutely. There's nothing like going to a show, and there's nothing like going to specific band shows that just know how to put on a good show. I know it sounds like an obvious statement, but there really is. There's something significant, like when you go and the vibe, like when you have a band that isn't just popular but has a very niche following of hardcore sycophantic fucking assholes. Like it just becomes this unbound, just like a tinderbox just going off, and you just feel the fucking energy from it. And Gwar is just one of those bands. You have a lot of people that I use the term humans loosely, like they're just absolute abject fans of Gwar, and when they play, it's just like everything, nothing else exists outside the confines of that show.
Yeah,
and you
dude.
it's another realm you're in.
And one of the things that like got me like kind of nervous during that show was it was a small place. It was called Tramps. I remember it was called Tramps.
Tramps, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a small place. So, because to me, like the only other concert I had been to before that was at Nassau Coliseum. And that was like maybe 2-3 years earlier.
Who was
to
that?
see Meatloaf.
Oh, Meatloaf, yes.
Yeah, I was big into Meatloaf at the time. I mean, I still love Meatloaf, but so when we get to this place and I'm like, I'm looking around, I'm like, this is where the Gwar show is. Cause like to me, it's like Gwar is huge. Gwar is at this point my favorite band. And I'm ready to see them. And it's like, we've seen the videos, we've seen Live from Antarctica, we've seen the America Must Be Destroyed concert. What was that one called? Tour de Scum.
Yeah.
And watching those, it's like the places just look bigger. You know what I mean? And we're in this
They
like,
always look
kind of
bigger
small
in
place.
videos.
Yeah. So we're in this like kind of small club, and Slimy starts doing the Slime Mr. Hyman starts doing the fire dance, and she's like blowing the fire, and I'm like, oh my god, this is how we die. We're gonna die.
What a way to go.
This place is gonna burn down.
Especially
And I'm like, no, you know, it's like when you get in a car with somebody who drives like a maniac, but it's like, you know what? I'm not driving. I trust this person because if they're driving that crazy, they know what they're doing. So that
you
was
have to
kind
put
of
your trust at that point. It's
that was
foolish or
kind of
not.
that was kind of where my mind was. It's like, you know what? She's done this before. She's done this in club. If this is the club that they're playing in tonight, they must have played clubs like this before, so they know that it could work inside a small club. And it was just a wild show.
Wasn't that, just not to add to that, wasn't that the one where she kept blowing up in the ceiling and it was like that black char all on the ceiling, and we kept going, holy shit, this place is gonna fucking go, because it wasn't. I mean, a lot of venues are small for bands, you know, especially like bands that aren't massive bands that have small niche followings. But like this place was like literally like you could just jump up and hit the ceiling. Like it was like that, like a small fucking place,
And
like one of those little like fucking hole in the wall clubs.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I felt the way I did. That's
No,
why I was
understandably.
so
I'm just trying to paint the picture more for those that weren't there. It was one of those like almost like this band is too big in size and stature for this place. Like what they do.
But we made it out alive. We got to meet
a
couple of Did we? I don't know, man. It's hard to tell, man. The way things are nowadays, we might be in hell. Like we might not have made it. But we did get to meet some of the band members afterwards, which was cool. I remember getting my T-shirt signed by Techno Destructo. I think I got I got one of the comics autographed by Balzac. Mike Dirks. But dude, that show like set me up for like life because with every tour there's a different story. So you're always getting a different show, a different set list, and a different story.
Yeah.
Because like the next year when We Kill Everything came out, they had that show at Roseland, which was also with the Misfits. I remember that because they had, what's his name, Joey Ramone, and I think it was Johnny Ramone, the guitarist, come out and do Blitzkrieg Bop and Sedated, with the Misfits. And then when Gwar came out, dude, another great fucking memory. When we made it to the front at Roseland Ballroom, before Gwar went on stage, they came to the side of the stage, did their hellos, did like the high fives or whatever. And Oderus comes out, and of course, like everybody's piling on top of each other. It's like, oh, there's a big guy.
You had to hold down the front, like you were getting pushed, like there was elbows constantly in you. Like it was, it's not a fun experience.
No, absolutely not. Especially being as big as I was, people were like, oh, we could just fucking climb this boulder right here. Like he won't fucking feel it,
Climb a mountain.
Yeah, exactly. So Oderus comes out, and there's this girl next to me with her hand out, trying to like grab him, whatever. He takes her hand, kisses it. And I still had my hand out. He grabs my hand and kisses it too. And I'm just like, oh my God! Like it was the coolest thing to me. I mean, like a man has never, at up to that point in my life and up until this point, no other man has ever kissed my hand except for Dave Brockie. I still haven't washed it.
I know. It's
true. Every time I shake your hand, you're like, ugh.
It's all hairy and it's like like the beast from like
it's got a mind of its own.
Do you imagine if Evil Dead was like that? Like the hand actually talked.
That would be fucking hilarious if it's like my hand turned into Oderus. It's like, hey, what's for dinner? Stop
you
putting
love Gwar so much.
Stop putting that thing in my mouth, damn it. That's gross. I don't go for that type of thing.
That would be fucking an interesting side effect from an Oderus kiss. Instead of like the face hugger, the hand kisser.
Yeah, right. Come here.
Oh no, not again.
So let's go back a little more though.
I'm actually glad you said it because I do want to go back. I want to go to the origin of it.
I was just about to say, what was the first Gwar song you remember hearing?
That's perfect segue because I was actually in my brain already locked and loaded for this. because I feel it's important, because it really is, because most people at this point are so indoctrinated with internet and information at the fingertips. So we really have to, we're going to peel back the layers here for a moment, because
Peel
you
them
have to
back.
understand Gwar is so enigmatic and there's a mystique behind them, but it was so pervasive back in the early 90s because you didn't have information. So anything you find, like I found the band, I just stumbled upon them. I was literally watching MTV, and I think Jukebox, the box, I think at that time,
Los Box.
the box. And I stumbled upon a song, and it was, and I remember watching it, and I liked the song, but I was so captivated by the visual, because you have, if you look behind you right now, yeah, that look right there. When you're a kid and you see that, your eyes, like you're just like,
Yeah.
and you're just like absorbing, because you're sponges at this point. So, and you're just like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the
What
music
is
happened to
it?
be cool too. And it was the song Road Behind
Wow.
during their second album.
Yep.
And that's what blew me away. And I remember going, I want this band. And the problem is I couldn't just go onto the computer and look him up because there was no computer.
Right.
So it was a matter of, I had my one aunt who used to take me shopping once in a while, and we'd go to the music store, and she would go, buy whatever you want, and I would just grab a couple albums, and I would go, here, and she goes, is this only what you want? I'm like, well, no, I mean, there's more. She's like, just get whatever you want. Like it was like that, like that dismissal, like, just, I know you want more, just buy them, just pick them out, I don't care, I have money. And so I bought a Gwar. It wasn't the second album though. I ended up inadvertently bought
Oh, you mean
EP.
America Must Be Destroyed?
Yes,
Okay.
not knowing, of course, because I had no information. I just saw this. I was looking for the song, so they had the Road Behind EP, and I bought. That was my first album, and that's what changed me forever. And that has like one of the best. Like the first side, let's really age ourselves here. It was a cassette tape, and one side was 3 tracks, and then the other side was 3 live tracks.
Yes. 3 long live tracks.
Yes, and by the way,
It wasn't all music. It wasn't even all music.
yes, that's what, as I was referring to before, as far as the mystique. Nothing incites more mystique and curiosity than that live section, because
Right?
you don't understand that they're in characters. You know nothing about. I know nothing about the history of them or what they are, what they're pretending to be. You just hear
Right. Exactly.
banter, and it's like, what the fuck is going on this stage right now?
Who the fuck is Carl? And why
Yeah.
is he on the drums?
On drums.
And let's not forget
Yeah.
Carl on drums.
But
I'm like,
that-
who are
yeah.
all these people he's talking about? Carl,
I know, dude.
Paramino,
Bronco.
Colt, and let's not forget Carl. I can't even say it. Just-
The echo, the delay.
Nothing has changed here.
Dude, that is like when you have no internet and you just hear that, your brain explodes with postulations, because you're like, what is, like, you're trying to, because there's no visual. So like that was the band that, like, I was so blown away by them, and I also equally love the music. And that's when I went to you and was like, dude, you have to check this fucking band out.
Dude,
And, yeah.
yeah, and that was the wild thing, because like I remember being at our buddy's house, and we were just like chilling, like
The basement, right? That's
and it's like I feel like we hadn't seen each other in a little while. Like I don't know if it was like the summer or like, because it was like between junior high and high school. So I
Right.
think I hadn't seen you in like a month or something like that, whatever it was. And it was the summer of '94, and so we're at our buddy's house, and I remember you like going through like I remember you had a Metal Edge magazine.
yeah.
For
That's
those who don't
magazines.
know,
The only source of news,
the only source of news,
magazines.
the only way, and the only way to know like if a band
And
is
pinups.
playing somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember him flipping through it. He's like, "Oh, look, it's Oderus," and I'm like, I'm looking at the picture of this dude. I'm like, and like just looking at him, like, is that a fucking lizard? Like, what is that?
I know. Even to this day,
And-
it's like, what is that face?
Yeah. So, well, I'll get into that in a second. But so then we're just like hanging out. We go outside. He brings his little cassette player out, And then all of a sudden I hear this riff open up. Sounded like an old school guitar riff. I'm like, what is this? And the first line, I'll wake you up in the morning, baby, with a kick in the teeth. Oh, dude, I know I've mentioned this already.
Oh, yeah.
But dude, like, I fell on the floor laughing. I'd
know.
never heard anybody say anything like that in a song.
Especially the music you listen to. You listen to a lot of older stuff and more commercial stuff. So
exactly.
to hear that, like, just so unbound and just like off color. Like, it's
because
like,
because it was like at that time, I only really knew of like a lot more of like the mainstream metal, Metallica, Megadeth. You know, Pantera wasn't like full on mainstream, but they were more mainstream than Gwar. You know, they were definitely a bigger band than Gwar.
Oh, yeah.
But hearing that, and just like, dude, I fell on the floor laughing. Like, I remember that. And see, I had, you know, somebody like my mother's friend, we were doing like, she wanted to do like a Columbia House thing. So I was like, yeah, okay. So I had the Columbia House thing. She's like,
scam.
She's like, yeah. So we ordered a bunch of shit. And one of the cassettes I ordered was This Toilet Earth. And I remember opening it up, and the inside leaflet, or whatever it's called, you know, the whole fold out thing, there was nothing on it.
Yeah.
Like there were sections where they had the band members, like,
that was a controversial album too.
In between where the lyrics were supposed to be. It had their names and like what they do in the band. And I always thought it was hilarious. Sly Menstra instrument, scissors, you know? But it had that picture. Yeah. It had that picture of like the beginning of life where like all these monsters, there was like that huge orgy, all like the naked parts were censored out. All the lyrics were gone. Yeah. Like the whole thing was blank and white. And it turned out good in the future. And like, what was it? Like maybe 5 years later when we got to meet them, but we'll get back to that. So
dude, just on a side note, the lyrics definitely had to be gone, because if they were going to put them and edit them, it would look like the redacts from like the Epstein files. It would just be nothing but black like squares everywhere.
Yeah. And I remember like bringing it, like showing it to you, and you're like, yeah, dude, that's not what mine looks like. And I'm like, really? You're like, yeah, mine has all the lyrics. And you're looking at it and you're like, there's a song missing here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, there's a song called BDF.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? And that was before.
That was a major, like when that came out, if you didn't strike fast enough and get the album, you were getting the Bastardized album. Same thing like with Slipknot with the first album. My favorite song, Purity, because of some copyright thing with that whole thing.
Yep.
Took it off. And I'm like, I'm so glad I bought, always, this anybody, when an album comes out, buy the album right away, because if anything happens, you're not getting that copy anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I have that Slipknot album also. I was able to find, dude, I was able to get This Toilet Earth on CD with BDF without having to go through like eBay or anything. Because I remember I was at a mall, and I was at like in this like, music shop. It wasn't even like a big name shop. I think it was just like for that.
Probably why you found it, because it's probably one of those handful that just slipped through the cracks.
Exactly. And I'm like talking to my buddy, and I'm like, I don't have this song on the album. He's like, so get it. He's like, do you have the album? I'm like, I do, but without that song. He's like, do you want that song? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so fucking get it. Like, just get it, And believe it or not, somebody like took that Gwar tape that I did have in my Walkman when I was in high school. And I always blamed this one kid for it. I'm like, dude, you took my Gwar tape. He's like, I didn't take your fucking Gwar tape. I don't even like Gwar.
You like the tape.
It's funny. Like I ran into him years later. Like, and when I say years later, I mean like maybe 7 years ago. I'm like, dude, do you still have my Gwar tape? He's like, you still on this, bro? I'm like, no, I'm just fucking with you. But
you took my Gwar tape.
You took my Gwar tape,
Son of a bitch. Fucking no good, dirty dog.
But that obviously it became, okay, now I need everything from this band up until this point. Because at that point, like, hello, Scumdogs of the Universe, America Must Be Destroyed, then This Toilet Earth. And when I got that album, Ragnarok didn't come out that much longer after that either. Yeah. And I remember that album coming out was like, that was a wild fucking album.
You remember like back in the day too, and we have examples to go, which I don't think we're going to go into this, but one of my holy grails was a CD version of Hello. because I wanted to get that
Yeah.
so badly, like, because it's, like I said, I got into them early, but at that point, like it was literally by their third album.
Yeah.
So the first album, of course, Hello, was very different. Production's very low, and the sound was very different as far as just what they were coming up with at the time. And even aesthetically, like you could tell, like they themselves were constantly working things, and they were trying things out. And it's Hello has its charm. Like it's a great album.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One thing I've always lamented, and I've said this before, and I'll say this a million times more.
I know what
I
you're gonna
just
say.
wish when Dave was still alive that they would have just redid the whole album, first album, just make it a little heavier. And the only reason I say that is because the EP has Captain Crunch on the live section, and that is one of the best fucking versions. Like I wish the album version was that version, because
Yeah.
that version was so good, and to me that felt like, okay, we need an album. Like now that this band is what they are and the metal, go back and just redo it. It doesn't have to be like a massive rewriting, like
Right.
you're not
Yeah.
reinventing the wheel. Just play them over now. And
Yeah.
we never got that, and it sucks because it's nothing. I just want to one more. I'm not throwing shade. Hello has its charm. It's a great album, but I just would love to hear a more modernized recording of it.
Yeah. Because whenever you hear like live versions of those songs now, like, well, up until Dave passed, again,
Always so badass.
yeah. I mentioned Jacques Cousteau, Je m'appelle Jacques Cousteau. Fucking dude, that live version, both off of Live from Antarctica and
Yeah.
Dawn of the Day of the Night of the Penguins.
Yeah.
Both fucking massive.
Which Live in Antarctica, I literally
versions.
recorded it, and like I used to listen to it as an album. You remember that? I made
Dude,
the whole,
dude, I did the same thing.
love that album. Love that live album.
Yeah, because dude, I was able to get it like really good on.
Yeah,
that
it was a good.
cassette.
The video was a good quality, like enough to where you can actually record it in the crude means that we had back in the '90s, and it actually was like listenable.
Yeah, and I remember having that in school one day when I was in high school, and I had a Walkman that actually had speakers on it. So I would like play little bits and pieces of it like during class, because whenever I was in my what was it, biology or chemistry, science, whatever science class I was in at the time, whenever like the teacher would stop talking, I would press play, and a lot of times it was during Slaughterama. So like she'd stop talking, turn around, and you go, "How do you hide money from a hippie?" And the whole class would just start laughing. She'd turn around and be like, "What was that?" Nothing. But that was the thing too, though. When I went to public school, when I left Catholic high school and went to a public school, like that's how everybody knew me. They knew me as like the Gwar fan, because like people who knew who they were, but there weren't any other like actual
you
Gwar
stood out.
fans.
You stood out.
Yeah, dude. I remember I wore one of the shirts that I wore to a gig once to school.
What shirt? Do you remember?
It might have been the Beavis and Butthead one. That's the one that. No, I don't think it was, because Techno autographed that one. Because like back then, I didn't like.
Oh yeah, if you autographed it, you're not wearing it again.
Yeah, because like I would just grab. It might have been another Beavis and Butthead shirt that I had, because like I had a few of them and they were all white. And when you think about it, like afterwards, it's like, well, that makes sense because they were probably made to wear to Gwar shows. It was just it was like so different back then, because like people knew who Gwar was and they're like, oh yeah, they're cool. And it's like, it's like, I don't think you understand what you're saying. Like they're more than just cool, because a lot of people just basically just peg them as a gimmick band, which I can understand. I mean, that.
In essence they are, but there's so much more to them though. That's the thing.
There really is a lot more to them, because for me, when you listen to a lot of like Dave's lyrics, when you listen to a lot of the stuff that he said in a lot of those songs, it really, it helped open up your eyes to some of the stuff that was really happening, but it also opened up your mind to a new kind of sense of humor.
Right.
You know what I mean? To like
more satirical, sardonic, like
exactly, to be able to really look at the human race and understand what's fucking wrong with them.
Yeah.
Understand that there is something wrong with them.
To editorialize in the geopolitical spectrum and make it funny is
exactly
and real talent he had.
Yeah, because one of the genius things about what he did and what Gwar did was basically take an actual issue, an actual problem that's going on, and basically take on the role of the the person doing it. You know what I mean? Take on the role of the villain, so to speak. You know, when you got songs like "Have You Seen Me" talking about child abduction, it's like I'm the one taking your kids. You know, you talk even with like preschool prostitutes, like yeah, that was me. You know, like shit like that. And once you grew an understanding of that, it made you really look at life like, you know, because like when he was on Springer, and it's like, you know, you
His
look at the
Springer
news.
episode, yeah.
Yeah, the Springer episodes, like you look at the news, there's violence everywhere, Monday Night Football, all this shit where bad things are really happening. It's like, and you're gonna come at us? It's like we're just singing about it. We're not the ones actually doing it. You're giving us shit, talking about like real shit, but you're pissed off at us, not the fact that it's actually happening.
Another thing I want to add to that is the comedic brilliance behind it. Because
Oh,
when you
absolutely.
when you peel back the layers, and back then, the only way to peel back the layers was by going to shows, like actually
Yeah.
seeing them in person, seeing and understanding the narrative that they spun, and understanding and really appreciating the fact that they're editorializing a lot of, you know, politics and current events, but they're warmongering aliens addicted to coke playing in a band and want to destroy this planet and also leave it at the same time. It is one of the most brilliant fucking constructs you could ever entertain your imagination and your time and your attention span with. It's there. Look at that. Look at the face. It's a face only a mother could love. Covered in blood, his little devil horns, his Nazi helmet,
Yeah,
shoulder pads.
right?
I mean, it is
Right?
one of
That's
the best, like most visually satisfying characters you could ever find, ever.
yeah.
They really, I can't stress enough the essence and origin of Gwar is fucking brilliant. It really is. They're artists, and it shows, and the passion for that art really showed over those decades. Waning, of
And
course, in my opinion, now, but it's still them right there. Look at that. Look at that face.
yeah, and this was only from their second album, and you can see like if you look at each album cover,
And
you
the
can
evolution
see
of it too.
the evolution of
Yeah.
the costumes. You know what I mean? Because by the time they reached, you know, the 90s, I'm sorry, well, this was in the 90s, but by the time, you know, when they reached This Toilet Earth, which was 2 albums later, Ragnarok 3 albums later, um, you know, the colors changed, you know,
Yeah.
like the shape changed. You know, his mask got like more pointy in certain areas, certain
Well,
like
also, just to add to that, they were a live band purely for like what, like 6-7 years before they even made Hello.
I think
right?
so.
Something like that.
I mean,
effect,
well,
right?
because they started out like making movies, you
Right.
know, as intergalactic, you know, rock star type things, you know, and it's like Dave Brockie wasn't even the first
No.
vocalist. And you know, I remember I sent you that video, but it's like, what was his name? I think it was Joey Slutman. Joey Slutman. I mean,
Slotman City.
yeah. So I mean, but you could also see like in the first album, Nippolis Erectus
Yeah.
was the
yeah.
drummer. You know, what was it that Brockie was saying to him in that old concert? He's like, "Hey, I just heard you came in from Chicago," and he's just like, "Yeah." So I heard you
Man
just
of
came
many
in from
words.
Chicago. Yeah, and they said it over and over, like 5, 6, 7 times before they like started the gig, and it was just like, even that in and of itself just shows you like the humor of Gwar, and it's hilarious. It was great.
And the brilliance of Dave.
The brilliance of Dave. The brilliance.
The personality that he was, man. It was
Because, well, dude, because it wasn't just Oderus. You know, it's like anything and everything that he did was extreme. You know what I mean? Like he was just hilarious. You know, because there was the Dave Brockie experience. You know, before Gwar, there was Death Piggy.
yeah.
You know, we love you, fat man. You know,
Dude, him and X Cops. Yeah.
Ex Cops, the gay area, the Bay Area gay Aryan. I mean, you know, it's like a gay Nazi.
It's a
You know,
mouthful. Yeah. The name's Cobb Gobbler.
satanic Nazi.
Weenie Gobbler. Dude, I feel like he's like dude, watching him as Oderus read Goodnight Moon is probably one of the most entertaining things I've watched probably like 1,000 times already, and I continue to watch it.
Yeah.
He was just that gripping. Like he was just, you watch him and he just knew how to command your attention and give you, even if you had no expectations, you were going to be satisfied with it.
Yeah. because it's he also had like a unique voice.
Oh,
Like as
very
far
much
as
so. Yeah.
like not just when he sang, but when he spoke,
Yeah.
you know. But as far as like his vocals went, I always found him to be such a unique vocalist because
Yes.
he would do like something silly, he would do something loud, he would do something scratchy, screamy, you know.
Yodely. Like he
Yeah,
went all over the place.
exactly. It's like when you listen to something like Poor Old Tom, it's like he does the scream coming in. It's like poor. He's like no, oh no, he would do shit like that, and
I love
it
it,
was
man.
just
I love because
yeah,
he's not like a Chris Cornell. You don't have to be. Like it's just he
right,
had such personality and he wasn't afraid to go anywhere with his voice and anywhere with the music.
exactly, man, exactly, and
That
that was one of the things that was so great about him was just anything and everything that he did for the songs that they did just
profoundly
fit.
entrenching. Yeah.
Yeah, fit so well. He was he was one of those vocalists, like I said, that if you're a fan of Gwar, if you're a fan of Dave Brockie, you'll understand. Because, again, Gwar wasn't one of the biggest bands in the world. They were big, but it's like, you would think about like a band like Faith No More. People know who Faith No More is, people know who Mike Patton is. People who know who Mike Patton is might not know who Dave Brockie is or who Gwar is. They may have heard of the name, but now that Dave Brockie has been gone for 12 years, some people might not even know much about the music that he
No,
did
not at
with
all at this
Gwar.
point. Dude, disappear. It's like a sandcastle on high tide. Once it erodes, it's people's memory and attention span is very finite.
Well, because now you have Michael Bishop as Blothar
Right.
singing for Gwar.
Which
Now,
on the surface is a nice fit in
yeah,
theory and thought.
in
For
theory
me.
and thought, and I agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I was excited when they first announced him to be the singer. But the thing that gets to me is, how many new fans are going to listen to the new stuff, enjoy it, but not know how great it was back then. Because
Dude,
they,
the albums, man. Albums.
yeah, because anybody could listen to a new Gwar song and enjoy it, but it's like when those albums were coming out and you got to listen to it for the first time when it came out,
Yeah.
it was just such a fucking it was just such a time. It was just such a moment. It was just such a fucking treat, because again, when Ragnarok came out about a year after This Toilet Earth, that's when Casey Orr came in as Beefcake in this one, and that was such a tight fucking album.
Fuck yeah.
Great opener, great ending. In the name of Gwar, and then ends with None But the Brave, but everything
Oh, I
in
love
between.
that song,
And the
yeah.
crazy thing is, when you listen to that album, like half the songs don't even have choruses.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different, like, once again, Gwar was never afraid to experiment. And if you go through the
Yeah.
Dave era of Gwar, they've literally done at least one song of a different type of music during the course of those albums.
Yeah,
Like they've literally done, I mean, like a bar song, like they've done every type of song. Like they've done
Yeah.
drinking songs, they've done like Full Metal, they've done fucking dude, they even did
Hi,
Slimy.
hi, hi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey!
Slimy in like that jazz,
Yeah.
jazz lounge type of like they've covered the entire spectrum of music. They even did a stupid country song. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hillbilly, like bluegrass, like it's like they were not afraid to tap into anything and Gwarize it.
And dude, it's like ever since that song, at this point, what, 30 years ago when
Yeah.
that album came
Yeah, like
out? 31
eons ago.
years ago? That came out like 95. Yeah, I think it came out in like 90. No, I think that was 96. So 30 years ago.
It's wild.
Yeah. But remember getting it for the first time and
Yeah.
listening to it and you hear like, you're like, what is going on here with Carnival of Chaos?
The Carnival of Chaos was all over the place, and I loved
It was all,
Like,
yeah, exactly. And it was like,
I was
putting
all about
in-
it. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
great. Yes, it's
Putting-
a departure from the sound that everybody knew and loved, but I love new stuff. Like try different things.
Well, because it was always like, you always got nervous when you're like one of your favorite bands came out with a new album. It's like, oh man, I hope this is good. This better be good. And that opening riff, the attack, you know, it's like, all right, penguin attack. That sounds funny. That sounds like something that Gwar would sing about, you know, a whole penguin attack. And then it like kind of died, you know, it changed throughout that whole album. There were so many different things throughout that album.
It undulates in just music direction. It is the most sinuous pathway when you listen from beginning to end. And if you can listen to it from beginning to end and then sit at the last track, you are rewarded with one of the best little segments of a song at the very end. Back in the day when you had CDs, you had these bonus tracks that you had to sit through an indeterminate amount of time to get to.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times I would fast forward after the Slight Mentor song, Don't Need a Lover, Don't Need a Man, whichever one of the two it was called. And then you see, cha, cha.
Dude, that riff is so fucking...
Well, because we didn't know what the hell it was. We just thought it was just like the outro to the whole album, which was a great way to end the whole freaking album.
Which, by the way, just to add, we still didn't know what it was for years until...
Slaves Going Single.
Slaves Going Single, that's it. Until that came out, and we found out that it's part of a larger song.
And I didn't find that out until the Dave Brockie Experience came to my town. They came to Bayside, Queens, little place you remember called the Voodoo Lounge.
I know. We performed there, dude.
Yeah, I remember seeing you perform there. Yeah. And dude, it was so awesome, but at the same time, it like broke my heart because I thought that place was going to be packed for them. You know, I thought the place was going to be, yeah. So you got Mike Dirks and Brad Roberts on stage, and you know they're like, "All right, where's Dave?" And we're looking around like, "Yeah, where the fuck is he?" He comes running from the back, no shirt on, and just these fucking like pajama bottoms. With Gene Simmons' face all over the pants, you know, the black pants, but with Gene Simmons' face all over, and the tongues were hanging out.
Yeah.
Like the tongues were like red fabric running out of the pants. So like they shook every time he moved. And, you know, they started the whole set. And of course, some dipshit in the crowd was like, "Jack the Earth." And he's like, "What is that?" He's like, "Look," he's like, if you're going to spit our requests, at least get the name right. So they kind of started playing it because only Mike Dirks and Brad Roberts started playing it because like he said he didn't know how to play it on the bass. He's like, "All right, I don't know how to play it on the bass, but we're going to do it anyway." So while Dirks and Roberts are playing it, he's like flipping over with his bass, like he's digging the headstock of the bass into the stage and just flipping over with it the whole time. And then, you know, like jumping up just to do the, you know, the chorus.
Must be such an instrument to hear with just one guitar and one drum.
Yes. Yeah, because that whole song is octaves, you know, you know.
Because it's so dependent on two guitars, you know.
Yes. Yeah. But it was just such an insane show. And the funny thing was, because there were so little people in the crowd, he's like, the one thing about doing a show for only 10 people is you could come out and thank them each individually. And he stepped off the stage, started shaking everybody's hand. He's like, "Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much."
It's so,
and
dude, I love it.
And that was funny. And that was the night that I signed up for the Total Slavery Club. Got my card like a couple of weeks later. And I can't remember the number. And it's like, I know I always say it was like early 100s. I always say it like 160, but I think it was earlier in the hundreds, maybe even not that, because it was so long ago. Yeah. I lost the card. Like somebody stole my wallet and that card was in it. You know?
Which like, sucks, because like, fuck the wallet, really I want the card.
Yeah. Exactly. That was exactly it.
I would go to that person and be like, "Listen, you can keep the wallet. Just give me the card."
Yeah, exactly.
Give me the slave pit card.
That's the thing. I have no idea how it happened. You know what I mean? Like it was just gone.
Yeah.
And it sucked. It's like I didn't care about my fucking
I don't blame you. Dude, I don't blame
my ID. I mean, I didn't even have a credit card at that time, but I'm like, oh my God, where's my Gwar card? You know, like
you can't get another. I mean, you can get another one, but you can't get that one.
Exactly. And it's like I don't remember. I know a lot of people got certificates with theirs. I don't remember if mine came with a certificate, and if it did, I don't know if the number was on that too, which sucks because like I just. It's like, I've been a Gwar fan for a long time, I swear, you know? It's like, if I come to, you know, it's like, if I get one now, it's like, yeah, you're Gwar fan number 55,600 and, you know, whatever it is. And it's like, fuck, man. It's like, I've been a Gwar fan for a long time.
Yeah, dude, my claim to fame with Gwar is like, what, I'm number 36 in the slave pit. I'm 36. Well, we met them
wild,
and hung
dude.
out with them. Brad Roberts, who runs it, the drummer, he looked at
Yeah,
me. He was
yeah.
like, "Holy shit, 36!" He's like, "You got one of the early ones."
Yeah, man.
And I was like, "Yeah, that's right."
Dude, yeah, and it came with that total slavery t-shirt. Obviously white because they wanted you to wear it to a show.
Right, yeah.
I never did because it's like,
No, I like it
it's
too
like-
much too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, but it's a Gwar shirt.
That's why I used a Hanes shirt. I just grabbed a white Hanes shirt, and just
Yeah.
that became my Gwar shirt, which I still have. Like, it's been
Yeah, and it's like I got to a point where I would like draw my own thing on the shirt.
I
itself.
just drew Gwar, like,
Yeah.
whatever, and then just use that because I don't know. It's like, the shirts are getting fucked up. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those that don't know, you go there and you're just getting all this corn syrup and water shot on you as like
Yeah.
blood and urine and excrement, whatever, like robot oil, whatever
dude.
they're killing to destroying on stage.
Yeah, dude, we've been going to shows since Oderus was able to shoot out white stuff from the cuttlefish.
Yes.
And if you don't know what the cuttlefish is, the cuttlefish of Cthulhu was Oderus Urungus's dick.
His dong.
Had a mind of its own, had eyes, had a mouth.
It was
and
quite a mollusk.
And it would shoot, basically he would jizz all over the crowd. Sometimes he would urinate on the crowd. It would either be white shit or yellow shit. After a while, they had to stop using the white and yellow shit and he would just shoot blood out of it.
And the mollusk would be accompanied with 2 dangly balls. Now, in certain times he would play, they'd be hanging, and certain ones he'd be attached to each leg so they're not bouncing around.
Yes, they would be. Yeah, he would put them in his fishnet stockings.
Yeah. So you can tell like where they were if he was just for play or business.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was rewatching Holliston, which I was showing you some of the scenes.
Yeah, I was watching a clip.
And he was one of the stars of the show. He played Adam Green's imaginary friend, and he was hilarious in it. They did 2 seasons. They never got to do season 3 because that's like around the time Dave Brockie passed away.
That was never in that era, like that.
Yeah,
that time frame?
and yeah, I believe so. I think so, because I know that there was like a halt on production for the 3rd season. I don't know if it was because Dave Brockie passed away that they stopped. I think it was like while they were stopped, he passed away, and they didn't do a 3rd season, and it just really sucks because like he was like, the show is fun. It's good for like people who are fans of horror movies. The acting, it's okay, but it's a fun show. A lot of horror icons are in it. Like I showed you, Kane Hodder.
Yeah, the legend.
Tony Todd. I don't know if you watched that one that I sent you.
Back in a while ago.
Yeah.
I did watch that full episode of Tony Todd one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and Danielle Harris, just all horror movie icons and stuff, and Oderus Urungus and Dee Snider, so it's like Oderus would come out and say some funny shit like in the Candyman episode, when life gives you lemonades, you make lemon stuff, and then you get plums. No, wait, maybe you go back to the lemon, and you get fruit and you stick it up your ass.
Can you imagine how much of that is just ad-libbed by him, probably?
Oh my God, dude. Watching the bloopers and stuff, because there's like a scene where he's sitting in the back seat eating popcorn while they're at a movie, and Adam Green's girlfriend is breaking up with him, and he's just sitting there eating the popcorn, and he just starts like throwing it all over the place and like just fucking makes a huge mess. And like Adam Green's sitting there like dying laughing. He's like, I love you, man. Like he just, it's like, what else can you say? It's like, dude, you're just such
So
a fucking
good.
character, So I remember also We Kill Everything came out.
Yeah.
We ditched school to go meet Gwar at Sam Goody.
Yeah. Dude, one of the best
In the
memories
village.
ever. Like,
Absolutely, man. Dude, I'm glad. All right, so we get there, and it's like, we thought we had to like buy the album there, and it's like, dude, we already have the album. Like, I brought something with me to sign. So the thing that I brought with me to sign was that strip from This Toilet Earth with nothing on it, everything that was blank, So I get up there, and they're signing it, and finally get to Oderus. He looks at it, And he looks at the whole crowd. He's like, "See, this is what happens when you buy your music at Sam Goody." You know? And so he's like, I was like, yeah. So I didn't even tell him, no, it was Columbia. I was like, fuck it, man. Like, just ride with it, man. It's like, I could play along,
Yeah,
man.
don't interrupt. Yeah, just let him go.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't going to correct him, be like, well, it was from Columbia House. That would
Close
probably
enough.
piss him off. He'd be like, why the fuck are you buying from Columbia House? You should own the fucking whole album.
Exactly.
So that was, yeah, I remember, like I said, I cut school just to do that. I remember talking with, telling Beefcake I'm a bass player. Yeah, I'm a bass player too. You know?
Just to add to more of like a visual barometer for this. This Sam Goody had like multiple floors. So you had the first floor, which was the store. And then they obviously, this was an established thing where they would have bands that come over there to sign. So that was like the third floor. So you went up the staircase, and then you go, by the time you get out of the staircase, you kind of circumnavigate around the room itself, and the table next to the stairs going down is where they are. So it was it was actually like logistically, it was run fairly well. Like you would go up, wait around it, get signed, and then go downstairs. And of course, you leave the gift shop. You know, like you go and you shop around.
Right. Leave through the gift shop.
Like old museums, you leave through the gift shop. You enter the gift shop, you leave through the gift shop.
Yeah.
Brilliant, designed by them. And so when we went there, and then when we went down, I wanted to stay because I wanted to see if I could catch them. Like, because we knew, I was so obsessed with them. I knew what they looked like without their makeup, without their masks.
I
we would take the pictures of them on the way in. Remember that?
Yeah.
I have that one picture of you in the side behind you is Mike Dirks coming into the fucking
with his bleach blonde hair.
Like that the blonde hair.
Yeah, like looking like a California
totally like
punk
a fucking
rocker,
surfer,
like
skateboarder.
Yeah, with like that like bowling shirt on or whatever you call that shit. Yeah, with the sunglasses and all that. And I remember I was like, so what are we gonna do? You're like, I want to stay. I'm like, really? And you're like, yeah, what if they come out? I think see, I don't remember if we like stepped out to go to lunch and then come back or whatever. But
the instinct was to leave, but I was like, no, I want to hang out more because because if they come out, like nobody, because everyone there, nobody really knows what they look like. So it's like if they're there hanging out, because they're going to take that shit off, and I'm like, we'll be able to catch them. But I had no idea that we were going to get like the treasure trove of.
You remember? Do you remember those? There were a couple of people there, like maybe 3. Like somewhere between like 2 and 4 people there, like dressed in their own like homemade Gwar costumes that like were trying to get in before everybody else. It's like no, we got the costumes. Like we can go in, right? It's like you're not Gwar. Do you know that?
You're not the band, bro.
It's like you're not them. So like no, you get in line with everybody else. Like
you don't get carte blanche because you just fucking wear an outfit.
It's like, I've been walking around the city looking stupid like this all fucking day. Let me in.
Where's my seat?
Yeah, I want to sign autographs too.
Oh my God. Dude, that was one of the best moves we've made, because hanging out there like 15 minutes later, we're sitting there perusing CDs, and all of a sudden you start seeing them like walking around. Yeah, they're just hanging out. And from the mouth of, was it Brockie? I think he told us that they buy free shit, for signing there. So they were looking around.
It's so funny. I was about to say that.
They were perusing too.
They were perusing because he's like, we got a $25 gift card.
That's what it was. Yeah, something meager.
And like, I don't know if he was just saying, like, thinking about it now.
Oh yeah,
it's like, I don't know if he was like serious now or not. Because like back then, it's like, oh my God, that's it? It's like your Gwar, like $25, that's it? Like, what do you, like, at that time, it's like, we could get what, like a CD and a half?
Yeah.
Because like
break it in half.
Yeah, because like back then, CDs were like anywhere between like $16 and $20. It's like,
easily,
yeah. Oh yeah, we got a $25 gift card. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna buy this CD and this card.
Yeah.
This birthday card.
Sales tape.
Happy music birthday. No, but yeah.
But it sounds so plausible coming from a Sam Goody. Yeah. So that's why it's like, he may be joking, but he's probably not joking. He's probably half serious.
I know. And it was crazy when they came out, and like, they all had like the makeup cleaned off, except for Zach Blair, who was flattest at the time.
Yeah.
He still had the red.
He had the red around the mouth. The red around the mouth. The black around the eyes.
He might have. I remember Slimenstra.
I remember the mouth, yeah. Dude, I remember 3 things I remember. I remember one, that. I remember Dave coming out in a fucking Spice Girls t-shirt.
Spice Girls t-shirt. Yep.
Proud of it. And then I remember Hunter Jackson, Techno Destructor, for those that don't know the name, out there reeking of fucking whiskey? Like
something, man.
He was like, he smelled like he just bathed in like bourbon.
Dude knew his anime though.
Oh, he was.
Like,
he was like, he was that, you know.
Yeah, well, because like this back then, like anime wasn't as accessible as it is now either.
Yeah.
Like that was shit that you had to go to the city for also.
Yeah.
So he went like right to the anime section and he's like looking at stuff. And I remember like we were talking to him about it and he's like telling us about like, you know, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, yeah.
And like up until that point, I thought it was just Dragon Balls. Listening to Hunter Jackson, Techno Destructo talk about something that you don't know about nor care about. It's like I care about it now.
Yeah,
I care about what's coming out of your mouth.
Don't get me wrong, he was cool. He just was hammered. Like he was functional hammered. Like he was still able to talk and everything, but he definitely. I mean, what was it, like 2 in the afternoon?
Something like that. Yeah. Yep.
You get a little anime fucking drunk.
Yeah, dude. But you know, being able to take pictures with all those guys out of costume back then, you know, it was
actual pictures, by the way. Like, actually, you know, we have a photo album somewhere in storage. It's the pictures, like not.
Yeah,
like
dude. Some of mine got fucked up because I had them in frames and like when.
Oh, that's
like,
right. The basement, right?
When it flooded, like it wasn't even like it didn't even get like fall in the water. I think it was just like from the condensation in the air. It just kind of fucked it all up.
Dude,
and I don't have copies.
Sucks, dude.
It sucks. I don't have more copies of it, but I still have I think I still have the negatives, which for anybody who doesn't know anything about old cameras, and negatives are what you create, what you get the pictures from.
Yeah.
So there is a chance that I might be able to do something with that, you know, hopefully. That would be cool, but
yeah, negatives were gold because like you could always be like, okay, got these, you know.
It's like, do you want the negatives? Yeah, I'll take the negatives. Never know when you're going to need them. So here it is, like, you know, 30 years later, almost 30 years later. And it's like trying to bring back photos that I used to have, like, you know, trying to bring back an extinct animal. You know what I mean? It's like, I still have the negatives. And with this, you know, with the proper lighting and the perfect solution, we can recreate these photos.
Dude, and if you want anything to reaffirm your sycophantic love for a band, have the meeting that we had with them hanging out there in Sam Goody. It was one of the best, like it really was. It's one of my favorite memories because it was just so much fun just shooting the shit with them and just hanging out. It was so just chill and low key.
Yeah, because it wasn't like how, like, when you go to a convention, you go to the table, you get to talk with them a lot. It's like, this was like, all right, say like one thing to them, get your
right, and then go.
And keep moving.
They're working. You know, like this is like where you're not even catching where they're leaving. They're just chilling for a few minutes. You know, they're hanging out. So you had all the time in the world, in essence, to just shit. You know, shoot the shit, chat with them, questions. You know, whatever. It was fucking fun, dude. We got to meet all of them, take pictures with all of them.
Yeah, we got to take pictures with them in costume and out of costume.
And out of costume.
And the crazy thing was, like, even back then at Sam Goody, it was like they took a picture with their camera, but it wasn't like a Polaroid. It's like, I remember you had to go to the store and like pick them up.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember you brought me mine too. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, dude, because like I was like, shit, when am I going to go to the fucking city?
Quite a mission. You got to go to the city. It's like,
yeah. And it's like, you were there already. You're like, yeah, I got your picture. I'm like, oh my God, awesome. You know, luckily I had my own, you know, disposable camera too. So like I was able to get a couple of pictures with it, you know, but that's wild.
Such a great memory, man. Yeah.
I did get to see Dave Brockie experience again at CBGB in the city.
Is CBGB still?
No,
they've been long gone, right?
Like, yeah, they've been long gone. I mean, I played there. I think it was the last year that they were open back in 2005. Yeah,
it's been that long.
Yeah, I think they closed down like 20 years ago at this point. Yeah. So our buddy Dave, he played a gig with the Dave Brockie experience at CBGB. Yeah. He's like, dude, guess what? I'm like, what? He's like,
we got a show with
the Dave Brockie experience at CBGB. Cool, and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, dude, we got a gig with the Dave Brockie experience at CBGB. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm there, man. I'm like, you know, I'm going to fucking be like, I was like, I probably would have been at the show anyway for you, but like now there's no question I'm going to fucking be there. And it was another great fucking show because toward the end, another one of the opening bands, like they got on stage with them and they did Gwar songs together. they're like, well, we got some of Gwar's human slaves out here, and it was like 3 or 4 guys from the band before them. They're like, they're gonna come out and do some Gwar songs with us, and they did fucking Solomonizer, of course.
Did they do full songs, or did they just play like little?
No, full songs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was only like 3 or 4 songs, and like they did Solomonizer, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is fucking great.
What a great song. What a great choice.
Yeah. And dude, like afterwards, we're talking with Dave Brockie, and again, this was a long time ago. So, our buddy,
Lifetimes.
he's like, hey, listen, we're gonna go smoke in my van. Do you want to come with us? And Dave's like, oh yeah, definitely. I'll come out with you guys. Yeah, fuck. I'm like,
how could you turn that down?
I'm like, really? We're gonna Dave Brockie? Like for real? He never showed up, which sucked.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he never came to the van. Like I'm sitting in there like, oh my god.
But didn't you smoke? Oh, that must have been the other show.
I
did
never
you smoke
did.
with Dave? Oh,
no, not with Dave Brockie. No.
Why do I remember that? Who am I?
Maybe I did, and I was just too high and didn't realize it. But.
I think maybe it was the other. I don't know. I just had somebody had the memory that because I didn't go to either one of those shows.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember talking, hearing of course about that first one, not that one, but like the original one by what was the name of that place
Voodoo
again?
Lounge.
Voodoo Lounge. Yeah. Like where after that he hung out and he was like smoking and stuff like that. I thought you were there.
No, I didn't get to hang out with him after that. I did get to, I got to bullshit with Dirks and Roberts and a little bit with Dave because they had their little merch table there. That's where I signed up for the Total Slavery Club. And I think I even got Brad Roberts to autograph the picture that I took with him at that Sam Goody.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, but another thing that, got destroyed.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, nice. It's like, no, not really.
Yeah.
But dude, we've been to so many Gwar shows and so many shows, obviously, with Dave fronting. I mean, we went out to Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, the Poughkeepsie show. Yeah.
The Chance, I believe it was called.
I don't remember the name of the place. Yeah,
I think it was called the Chance. Yeah. And it had, it had like the 2 floors. It had like, it had like the balcony basically, and the front. There was that dude in the merch area, like, hey, I'll put my dick in this fucking mousetrap for $10. It's like for 20, I'll let it go, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like this dude
very
was
jackass
doing crazy. Yeah, it was just fucking dumb shit.
Was that the Halloween show? Was that the Bill Clinton beginning?
Oh my god, like that.
For some reason, I feel like that's the. Like I said, everything conflates in my head. So it's
exactly, man. Like it was like so long ago.
Yeah, rings the bell.
Yeah, because there are some shows that like I was at that like I vaguely remember. I remember the Chance. I remember going to fucking Stingrays in Jersey or Starland Ballroom, it's called now, or something like that.
Right.
There was one place out in Long Island. It was called like, was it the Crazy Donkey? Something like that. Dude, it's just.
It's hard.
And that was my
really
cousin's first show too. I made him a shirt that said "My first Gwar show."
Oh, nice.
So, like,
yeah.
Like little kids, whatever. Fucking,
Noob.
like, yeah.
This
is my first Gwar, dude. He loved it, of course, man. Like,
how could you not?
He's like, dude, that was great. And the opening band, one of the opening bands was Mobile Death Camp.
Mobile Death Camp.
Yeah. The lead guitarist and singer Todd Evans was Beefcake.
Yeah, Todd Evans.
Too.
Yeah. Oh, so that's his. Okay,
that's it. Yeah. So. And it's funny because like one of the things he said something, Todd Evans, while he was on there, with Mobile Death Camp, something like, well, we all have our heroes. And like, while we're watching him play, like, me and my cousin, we look at his calf and he has a tattoo of Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, wow.
And, like he pointed out to me, he's like, yo, look, is that Pee Wee Herman? I'm like, holy shit, man. I'm like, oh, well, we all have our heroes. I said that to him. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Was he just playing bass or was he singing in that band?
No, he played guitar.
Oh, he played guitar.
Yeah. He was lead guitar.
Oh,
I mean, I think it was just a 3-piece band too.
Oh wow.
So he was guitar and vocals. There was a bass player and a drummer. Yeah, they were a good band. They were a good opening band. I enjoyed them.
I like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was also Brent Purgeson who
played
guitar and sings for U.S. Bastards.
Pantera bit, right? Yeah. Well, didn't he do a Pantera cover band?
Did he? I don't know. You might be thinking that because he kind of looks like Corey Smoot and Dimebag had a kid.
Yeah, very much so.
It's like when I saw Brent Purgeson, I'm like, he kind of looks like Corey Smoot, but he also kind of looks like Dimebag. I've even seen him with U.S. Bastards open for Gwar, and then play in Gwar that same night.
Double work, man. Good for him. Good old Brent. It's always big news when you have a new band member, like when you're replacing somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, like I want to know about this guitarist now because
When Postulus Maximus was announced, and it was a member of the Maximus clan. He was based. You look at Flatus Maximus, see the red face, the red mask, the dreadlocks, the
Triceratops.
Triceratops, with the Triceratops, all that shit, and then you see this other guy come out who's from the same clan but with a blue face. He's got the woolly mammoth.
Yes, I think mammoth
pads.
tusk, like the
had the helmet like the dude from fucking what do you call it? Army of Darkness. Basically looked like that character from Army of Darkness, but like just really.
That's right.
Cool
He did look like that character.
Yeah, he might have been based off of that.
He was definitely fashioned after it. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at him, I'm like, that looks really fucking cool.
I dug it, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I like the fact that they went with another Maximus, and he's blue.
Now, another thing to add to that is, yeah. But another thing to add to is it was significant shifting, like a passing of the torch, because there's been multiple Flatuses like over the years.
Yes.
From Peter Lee from back in the day into like Corey Smoot, I think obviously being the last Flatus.
Right.
But when Corey Smoot died, they literally retired. Because like once again, we've talked about this before in regards to Dave and everything else, that this band could continue on indefinitely because you could just keep either replacing the character with another character or replacing the character or the actor for the character, the person behind it.
Yeah.
So that was a huge shift because that you went from a Flatus now being retired to Postulus. And Postulus was a great fucking fit. Like Brent was the fucking man. I love Brent.
Dude, and it's wild because when you look at Brent Purgeson as Postulus Maximus, you see the character, you see the way he was on stage. He was a great fucking guitarist, and he was a great addition to the band.
Great personality.
He had the personality. And it's like when Dave Brockie died and you think about the band going on, he was the first person that came to my mind as somebody who could step up and be the frontman, whether he took on a different persona or if he played guitar and sang or just dropped the guitar, stayed as a Maximus and sang, you know what I mean? Or even if they made like a new Urungus and he was the new Urungus and they got a different guitar player to be Postulus or whatever, But, I also found it kind of weird that when Brent Purgeson left, instead of continuing on with a different Postulus, they created another Maximus character. Not that it was weird, but it's like somebody like Postulus Maximus who became that kind of character where he was like in the forefront, more in the forefront than any other character at that point. You know what I mean? Because like Flatus Maximus wasn't really one to be like on the microphone, whereas like Postulus was, he would jump on the mic and say some shit and, he would be funny in interviews and stuff like that. If you like thinking about it, I think it's a good thing that they changed the character because of what Brent brought to that character.
Right.
And just to see somebody else in that character, seeing somebody else in that character just not be as good of a Postulus as he was. So they just created another character, which that's cool with me because I want to remember Postulus the way he was and not as whatever Glorious is now. Because when it came to guys like Dave Brockie, Brent Purgeson, especially as their characters, Oderus and Postulus, for them it was natural.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know the difference between what's natural and what's forced. It's like when you're trying to be funny, when you're trying to be a Gwar, so to speak, it's like it's a lot different than just actually being that person. It's like
100%, because that's often what I always say, usually in regards to things of that variety. Less is more. Like you're trying too hard. It's like just roll with it, and and this is what
exactly
part of my contention with the echelon that we have now as Gwar.
Right, because there are certain things that anybody in Gwar now can do that's funny, that's witty. It's just not as funny and as witty if it were Dave Brockie up on that stage doing that. It's unfortunate that we lost him. We'll never have another Dave Brockie in this world, in this life, ever again. You'll only have people trying to be him.
Right. Trying to emulate his personality.
Exactly, because it's like when Dave Brockie would speak, he was very witty, he was very quick, he always knew what to say, and he was always good at it.
Yeah.
You know, when I was watching that,
Razor sharp wit.
yeah, oh, that razor sharp wit of yours, Joe. So when I was watching that documentary, Let There Be Gwar, which I'll say always, it's unfortunate that they decided to do that after Dave Brockie died, because it's just people talking about him and not him really talking. Because I would have loved to seen a documentary, like an actual documentary about Gwar while Brockie was alive, because it would have been so great to hear him talk about the band in a full documentary, not just the Where Are They Now or just like side interviews, you know, interviews with people, just like the whole band doing a documentary about Gwar and him actually talking about it as Dave Brockie,
right,
in a more sort of serious manner, if you will, if he can even be that serious, you know. So watching that and listening to Michael Bishop, let's say, talking about how before they would do an interview, they would discuss like what they would say, who would say it, and Michael Bishop would say he was going to say a certain line during the show, but then Dave Brockie decided to take that line and use it live, you know, use it for the show. And I'm listening to him say this and I'm like, you know, I understand where he's coming from, but it's like you think about the delivery.
Right.
Dave Brockie used a joke or a certain line that you were going to use, who would have landed it better?
Yeah.
Definitely Dave Brockie.
Yeah.
Because you got the band now trying to continue the legacy or continuing the legacy. I say trying because I felt like with the first album after Dave, I liked it. I will always say I liked Blood of Gods. I thought it was a good album.
Because I shat on it and you were like, no, I don't like it. Like,
see, I liked Blood of Gods. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good record. You know, there was the tribute to Dave. What was it called? Phantom Limb. Mm-hmm. You know, I can feel you like a phantom limb. Like that would hit me. And, you know, there was a point where a buddy I knew from work passed away. And
I wish I felt that way. I just...
well, because like I got to feel it thinking about Dave passing, but I also got to feel it hearing it after somebody I knew passed away, you know, without like realizing, because I was just listening to the album and someone I knew just passed away. And I was like, oh my God, like, you know,
that'll hit you differently when you're going through a correlation.
But because I looked at it this way, every Gwar album is different, you know, like we were talking about the albums from the 90s and from even when you start with from Hello, Scumdogs, America, Toilet Earth, Ragnarok, each one had its own Carnival of Chaos. Each album throughout the 90s, for the most part, had its own sound, had its own style, had its own flavor.
Direction. Like, dude, like We Kill Everything was the wackiest album they've ever made.
Yep.
And then when they came back with Violence,
Violence Has Arrived
was one of the best returns to form. And not that they lost their form, but like to come back and just go, we're going to go back to fucking straight up in your face, smash teeth metal. Yeah. And it was one of the best. Like, it was like a shot of adrenaline. Like when you heard it, like, it's like, it was like the point I'm just adding to what you're saying is just, they've tried every type of, you know, like they've gone through everything.
And I would still say We Kill Everything is not my least favorite album. That's besides the point.
I love the album. It is a wacky album, though.
It is a wacky album.
Like
it's like it like went from Carnival of Chaos, whatever Carnival of Chaos was, and just like kept going. And it
made Carnival of Chaos look like the most refined album ever made.
Like, yeah, exactly. So when Blood of Gods came out, I was also on the high of Gwar continuing. So that could also be part of the reason that I really liked the album, because they're continuing. So I always kind of looked at that album as one of Gwar's different styled albums. You know, it's like, well, all their albums are different. So this is just a different album, just happens to have a different singer.
Right.
You know? So that's the way I kind of looked at it.
Yeah, dude, I even looked at that way initially too. it's just I had accumulation, like a residual buildup of various experiences, seeing,
Yeah.
things transpire, which
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
get into
No,
some
I
of the
get.
stuff, in a little bit, but and that's what this, kind of turned my open, like I was totally open to the album. I listened to it,
Yeah,
but I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
eh, yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah, because dude, again, when Dave passed away, and they're like, "Hey, listen, Michael Bishop, formerly Beefcake, is gonna step in and be our new singer." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Again, legacy, legacy member, you know. So it's just like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Fucking A, let's do it. And we're gonna continue, and we're gonna still have the barbecue this year. Oh, cool. I got invited to it. Our buddy Sean called me up. He's like, "Hey, Coco," which is what they called me at the time. He's like, "Do you want to go to the barbecue? They're unveiling the new singer." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And I got to go like the next 3 years in a row. That one and the next two, which was ended up being the last one. So being there and seeing Michael Bishop come out as Blothar, I was like, holy shit. And again, this was the first time I'd ever seen Pustulus live too. So like that was like a big thing
double
for me
whammy.
too. Yeah, dude. And again, the last picture I took on my phone before my phone died was one of the most awesome pictures of Pustulus I ever like.
Was
It was
like
one of
mid
the most
solo or
awesome.
something, or
Well, yeah, it's like he had his foot on the amp, and like
yeah,
he had his guitar out. There was like fog coming in. It was still, the sun was still out, but it was just like it was just the most perfect picture that I had ever taken. Period.
right.
Not just of a fucking rock band, but it was like when like I took the picture, my phone died, and then like when I got my phone working again, and I saw that last picture, I'm like, holy shit, that is the fucking greatest fucking picture I ever took. So Blothar comes out looking kind of like clunky. You know what I mean? He just had a helmet on.
Yeah.
He had the shield, had the big antlers, which he still has. He was like mostly blue,
Yeah.
and
It was definitely a quick, like,
yeah, because it was the costume was taken from pieces of other things that they had worked on, which I don't know if they ever actually used them live, or if it was just something that they wanted to use for something else, and they just kind of put it on the back burner. And it was just when he came out, it's like, all right, we'll use this helmet. How about those antlers? You want to
yeah,
use those antlers? Yeah, but I'll use them as shoulder pads. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
good idea. Like that type of shit. And then, of course, after like a year or two, he came out with the whole like cow, pig face
I am a
shit, whatever the fuck.
tard.
Yeah, fuck.
I sucked hard.
Which again fell more in line with the Gwar look.
It did, even though he
And
looked like a fat older Jack Black in that outfit with half the vocal range. But
oh shit, man.
I mean,
Well,
listen, Michael Bishop, he can hit that high end. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's like kind of like a one trick pony thing with him. He just does that, and that's
See, I liked it better when he did like the actual like what do you call that scream?
what that rasp of the fry scream, like
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
Pussy
say fry
Planet and
scream.
stuff
I
like
just
that.
yeah.
Wow, like that whole
Yeah.
like,
I mean, because it was like half that high pitched scream and half like the raspiness.
yeah.
You
Well, yeah,
know what I
because it's
mean?
whole rasp because it's
Yeah,
just in
yeah.
the back, and you're just belting that out.
Yeah, dude, I fucking loved his voice on those songs. Eat
Dude, I
Steel is
loved
one of
him
my
as
Yeah.
Beefcake back in the day. He
I
was
loved him as Beefcake.
perfect
dude.
role for him. It's when he got more is where Mike attention comes in. It's,
Right? Yeah.
It's like there was a reason why he wasn't a frontman for like 30 years.
Right. I mean, and he was he was good as like the side character.
Great.
He was good as the sidekick.
100% agree. Great side character. Great addition. Great auxiliary personality.
Yeah, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing. There's not
because the singer is always going to. The singer is or should always be the center of attention because this is the person who's going to pull people in to the shows. This is the person that is going to make people interested in what you're doing. Dave Brockie fucking had that. Everything about him when he was on stage, just all this fucking energy, the aura, everything about this man,
He owned it.
whether he was as Oderus or as Dave Brockie himself with the Dave Brockie experience, he fucking had it. He knew how to grab a fucking audience. you know? And when Michael Bishop goes out there and he holds the audience, I don't think it's the same. I think it's just more people are interested in the fact that Gwar is continuing. You know, I don't think that people are going just for the novelty of it. I know people still enjoy going to the shows, but for me, it really took a dramatic change.
Yeah.
And I'd been to a bunch of shows where Michael Bishop was fronting it, and I had a good time.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was Gwar with a new singer.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a Gwar show. But for me, it kind of wore off. It just wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't the same.
The veneer wears away quickly.
It does, because when you saw Dave Brockie as Oderus Urungus fronting the band Gwar, there was nothing fucking like it.
Yeah.
And there never will be anything fucking like it. I don't care what anybody fucking says.
Listen, let me add this one point here to that. For anybody that's watching that is not familiar with Gwar, what we're talking about right now, if you want a good litmus test without having to dip through albums and live albums, you go to YouTube and you go to what's the name of that channel that does the Gwar, when Gwar would come on, they did the covers of things.
Oh, the AV Club.
AV Club, thank you. You go to the AV Club, watch Gwar's performances with Dave, and then watch the ones after Dave.
Yeah.
And you will immediately get smacked in the face with the disparity of personality and persona and energy. I'm not even saying this because I could easily expand my ire and just completely shit on Mike Bishop, but I'm actually saying this from a very magnanimous standpoint. There is a massive difference, a massive disparity. Like when Dave got out there, he is so entertaining even before the song, even before they performed the song. So for those real quick, concise, AV Club, they grab a bunch of bands and they have a list of covers, and whoever grabs for whatever first, and then you're left whatever you got, depending on where you are. And Gwar did one every year that they did it, and they always crushed it. Like they had Carry What My Wayward Son, they did that one year. They did Billy Ocean, which is one of my favorite before. That's my favorite one. I recommend that one. What were you going to say?
No, I'm sorry to cut in, but
no, go.
With the Billy Ocean one, I know because I know whenever Gwar does it, they like cut it in half or cut it
And
somewhere at the end and jump into another song. I'm trying to remember. Was it? I think "Get Out of My Dreams" and "Into My Car" went from that to, was it Baba O'Reilly by The Who?
It's The Who. I don't know what the name of the song is.
Yeah, Baba O'Reilly. Yeah, it's
definitely The Who.
Teenage Wasteland.
That's it.
Some people call it. Yeah.
Once the Billy Ocean one came out, I have to go back to that and watch that over and over again.
Lyrical genius.
It's just so like the banter from him in the beginning and end is just so funny, and that's just the reason I bring it up. I've watched the ones after, and you watch Michael Bishop come out there trying to be funny, and he's not.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like when you have comedians and it's like they're throwing jokes out and they're just not landing, and and he's just not entertaining, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, not everybody can do it, but it's just you watch and you're going, what the fuck is this? Like, and it's just, and he's coming out there like the first one he comes out, he's sitting there like the doorway of some like in the hallway, and he's like pretending to pick his nose, and you're like, what the fuck what is you doing? Like, just then he's getting onto the spot where they're performing. He's like, don't get into show business. I'm like, how about you not get into the show business? Fucking
dude, I'll be honest, seeing them live, I think the funniest thing that I heard Mike Bishop say, as Blothar, because he has what people call the udders.
Yeah.
I just thought it was hilarious. Udders. Right. I just thought it was hilarious. He's like, they're not udders, it's a bag of dicks. I thought that was funny. Because they are dicks. And I think 2 of them are uncircumcised too.
Good for him.
Good for you, man. Nice going.
But that's the shit. Like, I look at that and I'm like, and I know it sounds like sour grapes, because like, oh, he's just an old school Gwar fan that's upset that they're going on. And I'm not going to rehash the shit that I've already said in prior episodes, but it's just, that part really bothered me. And it's like, and in conjunction with what you were talking about earlier, with him in that pusillanimous comment about how he came up with this idea for this line and then Dave stole it. It's like, whether that's true or not, it's like it's easy to say that and be slanderous when the person that you're talking about is dead and can't defend himself. So that also rubs me the wrong way as well.
Oh, me too,
And it's
dude.
like, fuck you, dude. Like, you're not fucking Gwar. Like, you were a component of it, but like, I'm not taking away his history of it. But the point I'm getting at is, it's like, all I see, and this is my own postulation, like my own hypothesis. I just felt like he was overridden with fucking jealousy of Dave and loved the moment of where he can take over this band and show that he's the front man, and to which he has yet to do, in my opinion. Like,
Right.
he is
Well,
the front man, but he is not Dave, and he's never going to fill the shoes that Oderus did. And I don't think he's even trying to. I feel like the band's on autopilot at this point. Like, they're just going out there and just milking it. Kind of like how, like Static X is out there playing shows, just
yeah.
milking their show, like just it's money grabs. And I don't blame them for money grabs. Listen, it's hard to make money these days. It's hard to be a band where you just make money for being a band. Like Metallica. Like they're Metallica, they just make money. It's a brand. Same thing with Slipknot. I get it. You have to keep touring, you have to sell merchandise.
Yeah.
But it's just,
see, when it comes to Gwar, we all saw Skullhead Face. We all know what the basis of that movie was.
Right.
It was about selling out, creating all this fucking merchandise, and basically being in a band and saying, no, we're not going to fucking do that.
No Glomco.
Dave Brockie dies, and that's exactly what they become.
Glomco. That's what I refer to them as.
That's what I refer to them as now. I have a buddy who refers to them as Gwaz, as in Gwar was, But it's just because you look at all the shit that they have now, and it's the shit that they would have had the shit that they had in Skullhead Face. They have plush dolls now.
Dude, it is t-shirts, unbridled over-marketing and corporatized bullshit.
Yeah, because there was a point where their t-shirts and like their hoodies were just shitty merchandise, shitty quality. So I stopped buying it. I fell for a lot of the stuff for a while, like the cigars, the cigars. They were great cigars too. Going to the Gwar bar, which food was great there. Buying the tiki mugs, buying the coffee mugs. Buying the hats. With the Keep logo from.
Dude, they have a CBD. You bought the vodka.
I never bought the CBD because I'm not into that shit. But I bought the vodka, which is the worst fucking vodka I ever tasted. That's why both bottles are still unopened.
Surprise.
Well, dude, and it's just you get to a point where you're just like, what's going on here? Part of it was, again, the excitement that Gwar was still continuing. And it's like, oh, they got all this cool Gwar stuff, because I've been a fan of Gwar for a long time. And I always kind of wish that Gwar had more shit to buy. I was always about the t-shirts. And back in our day, they didn't come in my size. So I had to walk around looking like a fucking overstuffed balloon wearing a shirt that was too small. Because the biggest size they had back then was extra large.
Right.
And then I remember going to a show and seeing a XXX, and I'm like, oh my goodness, they give a shit, And now it's like, you can get the t-shirts in tons of different sizes. But I used to have to buy, I only had enough money to buy one t-shirt most of the time when I went to shows, and I would always get extra large because at that time, that's all they had. I wore and tore the fuck out of those shirts though. And it just became such a wild thing to see, the CBD oils, the NFTs, the plush dolls, the t-shirts in like 3 different colors, like it's T Public or something, you know what I mean? And all the different kinds of jackets, hoodies, even other companies like stepping in and like making merch with their name on it. I forgot the name of the company, but the company Supreme, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Supreme will put out, let's say Supreme puts out a Gwar shirt.
Company.
They don't, but let's say Supreme puts out a Gwar shirt.
Yeah.
So let's say it's a long sleeve shirt, you'll see a picture of Gwar, you'll see their logo on it, but on the arm, all along the arm, Supreme.
Yeah.
That's
lamest fucking.
There's this other company that does that. It was like a Gwar shirt and it had their fucking, like the company's logo on the arms. And I'm like, that makes no sense to me. Like, I don't want a company's logo on a Gwar shirt. You know? I mean, listen, I have Supreme shirts, not because I bought them, because my brother is a huge Supreme fan and got me some of those. But
Ugh,
like,
I can't.
generally, I wouldn't buy it. So the thing was, like, there was this company that made like t-shirts with Gwar that had Gwar on it, but their logo on the arms. There's like this flannel company that put out a Gwar style shirt or some shit, you know. So it's like almost like a mini Supreme where like
Yeah.
Gwar's name is like on a bunch of shit now. And my issue with that was, you know, this isn't what Dave stood for. And the question was like, what makes you think that Dave wasn't into marketing? I never said he wasn't into marketing, just not on this level. You know, I mean, we all saw Skullhead Face.
Right.
That's exactly what that movie was about. It was about, you know, signing with a big record company that just wants to fucking
It's the corporate
put
machine.
your name on everything. Yeah.
The
whole
soulless,
corporate bullshit
demonic
machine.
corporate machine. And you know,
and I think that's what Dave was against.
I think obviously listen, this is all speculation. We didn't know Dave. We met him, you know what I mean? So what he really was all about, you know, it's your guess. But
Right.
gauging by what the fruits of the, you know, from the tree that is Dave Brockie, it definitely seems like this is anathema compared to what he was all about. And I look at that and I'm like, and I know you know, there's a lot of sycophants out there that's gonna be like, yeah, but Storm, they don't make money. They have to make money as a band. I get it. I trust me. I know they work 20 plus hours a day and they make very little money and it's a grind. And there's past people that were in Gwar that talk about how little money they make and have to constantly tour. But there's a fine line between having passion and creating a project and then just being a corporate machine and just putting your Supreme name on everything, regardless of quality, and just soullessly just purely driven by just making money and marketing everything to death. I cannot stand that ideological premise. It drives me nuts, and that's all I see with Glomco now. And this is why I can't stand this. And I'll even go as far as to say, as conspiratorial as this sounds, I feel like Dave was a sacrifice. I feel like he, like, getting him out of the way was the door opening to just this what we have now. It was like it almost felt like he had to go in order for them to fully transition into the corporate conglomerate Glomco that we have now. That's just my own personal feeling on that, and you could take that how you want. But it just there was a significant shift immediately after Dave died. And it's like it almost felt like it wasn't an organic thing. It felt like they were waiting, greasing the skids and just waiting for this time to shift so they could just full unbridled corporatization. And I mean, good for you. Do your thing. But
I understand. I understand that because it was like the reason that you and I feel that this isn't what Dave Brockie was about, because if it was, this stuff would have been
already
in existence while he was here.
It would have been in full swing while he was there.
Yeah. There would have been plush dolls. There would have been all kinds of shit. There would have been, you know, the beard oil, the fucking CBD, whatever the fuck. All that shit would have existed if Dave wanted that. And, you know, I felt like maybe other members of the band felt like he was holding them back from, you know, expanding into some of that stuff, because they would have done it if he wanted to do it. And I truly feel that.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
You know, Dave Brockie died on March 23rd, 2014. And they still had the barbecue, which was like 5 months later. Now, at the time, again, it's like, oh shit, man, they're still going to do the barbecue. But then, you know, you stop and think, it's like, wow, they were able to like get this whole thing together in 5 months, you know, like they were able to like, yeah, you know what, I'll step in, I'll be the singer. Because watching that documentary, Let There Be Gwar, I felt like a lot of the people in that video, in that documentary, just put out a lot of, you know, had a lot of ire towards Dave. You know, like I said, with the beefcake, talking about how he was going to tell a certain joke, but Dave told it anyway.
Dude,
obviously,
it definitely felt tempestuous. Like there was a lot of built up residual, like, aggression towards what Dave stood for.
Yeah, and you could see the ones who were genuinely hurt, destroyed by it, you know. But of course, Hunter Jackson being not one of those people,
No,
you know, just totally fucking shit on him, which pissed me off because I always
it's
loved
the
Techno
battle of
Destructo.
egos, though, man. There's a lot of
Oh
egos in
yeah.
that band, and
Well, I mean, listen, you know, technically Hunter Jackson's the one who created Gwar. But it's like you created something and you put this guy at the helm of it who's got like all this fucking charisma, who's fucking hilarious, who is just a fucking perfect frontman for this fucking band. What do you think is going to happen? This guy is going to be the perfect frontman for this band, and he always will be. There's no other person. There's no other being that could be what this band was with him.
listen, we're
Did I
not
say that
lionizing
right?
Dave. Like, I'm sure Dave had his faults. You know what I mean? Had
Of
his
course,
flaws.
everybody does.
Like, this is not about like sanctification of this man. It's just more about that. Obviously, there was a lot of tumult in the band, you know, as far as egos, people that originally started the band and, you know, didn't get, I guess, what they felt they deserved. And you can tell, just like anything else, like go back to like Game of Thrones style, like, you know, where it's you always have somebody scamming or planning surreptitiously against the person that's on top. And, you know, and when somebody's gone, you know, when Ned gets beheaded, it's like everything rises to the top and it becomes I'm on charge now. You know, like this is how I want it to be, and it's what you see, and it's what we saw. Like when Dave left, it's you watch this, and it's so easy to say whatever you want when that person can't rebuttal it because they're in the ground.
And that's the saddest part about it because when that came out, I'm like, man, it sucks that Dave wasn't here to do this. And then watching it again, it was a lot of, you know, I feel like there could have been a better light shown on Dave and his contributions to the band.
Right.
And I don't think that they really put that out there enough.
I felt like it was an attempt at a gross rewrite of history of
Yeah,
trying to reestablish, you know, like when an old colony disappears and a new colony like takes over, they kind of rewrite like, oh, we're the ones that founded this. And it's
right. Yeah,
I
but
get those vibes. Like
I exactly. And you know, Sacha Baron Cohen, right? He was originally going to be Freddie Mercury in the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
that's an interesting casting.
Yeah. So when he was first going to be Freddie Mercury, you know, in the script, halfway through the movie, Freddie Mercury dies, and the second half of the movie is Queen going on without Freddie Mercury. Sacha Baron Cohen's like, nobody wants to see this fucking movie. Nobody gives a shit about the
Queen,
other
yeah.
guys in Queen.
Yeah.
People only care about Freddie Mercury. People want the story of Freddie Mercury. His highs, his lows, when he was at his worst, when he was at his best. That's what people want to see.
They do.
So
they want the vicissitudes of his life. That's
he got taken off the project. They hired Rami Malek, and they ended up doing that anyway for the most part.
yeah,
You know, focusing more,
Yeah.
focusing more on Freddie Mercury. So when I'm watching this documentary, like I love Gwar, I love all the members of the band. You know, I love Brad Roberts, fucking phenomenal drummer. Mike Dirks,
Underrated
great guitars.
like musicians.
Yeah. So watching this, and they focus very little on Dave. Like, I'm like, this isn't the documentary I want to see, you know, because Dave was such a huge part of this fucking band that he deserves more from of this documentary, and he deserves more
And being
from
an
the people,
afterthought.
right? And deserves more from the people who spent all that time with him than to just be just
Just a
basically,
mention.
yeah, just basically air out all their ire
Yeah.
towards him. You know,
Yeah,
it was
like
a shame.
like a grieve session, like just like
Yeah,
sitting there just airing
exactly.
their grievances, and it's like, dude, you're making a documentary. It's not like you're making a series. Like, at least give the contributions of Dave some just cause. You know, like it's there. Dave is obviously a major focal point of the band. You know, and you can argue this is all, of course, becomes could have, would have, should have type of situation. But would they have been as big as they were if Dave wasn't the frontman? You know, it's who knows, but I can definitely say that they were what they were because of Dave. You know, and it's like you didn't have to, you know, kiss his ass in the fucking, you know, special, but I feel like it's like kind of like that, where you're talking about it and you're trying to omit that aspect, but then like somebody keeps asking questions, so you briefly talk about, yeah, he did put that, but we wanted this instead, like, and you just kind of just try to omit the existence of him out of it with just bare minimum mentioning.
Yeah. And that's what kind of got to me, was that like there wasn't
That's the vibe, yeah.
there wasn't enough of Dave in that.
Didn't have to be all
at
about
least
Dave.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like didn't have to be all about Dave, because obviously the band is still going on without him. But it's like, it was fucking Dave, dude.
Let's not act like he was like the drum tech, like he was the fucking frontman for decades.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, his character literally was everywhere. Like, it was in TV shows. It was in, CNN? What was it? The Red Eye? Whatever.
I think that was on Fox.
Yeah. Sorry, Fox. I know CNN be like, no, we would never have that show. Left, right. But it was, he was such a character that he transcended the band. And you're not going to, like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like you watch it and you're like, okay, hatchet job.
I mean, he was like I said, he was the imaginary friend in Holliston.
Yeah.
He was in the closet. He would come out. He would talk to Adam Green, bust his chops, give him some really shitty advice, and just be gone. Like I sent you the Kane Hodder thing. It's like Kane Hodder comes in and he's like, whoa, this guy's built like a truck.
Yeah.
Can I sleep with you tonight? And wicked gay.
I was just about to say, there's the dude. He's great. Like, it's like it's like when you have a personality that transcends the medium that you initially started, that's when something special is there. And that's just what it was with Dave. Like, Dave was just a very special personality.
Exactly.
He just had a dynamic personality. He had a gravitas that you just couldn't help but just pay attention to and just be enamored with. It was phenomenal. It really was. It was so much more than Gwar as far as his personality, even though the bulk of his persona was Oderus.
Right. Because, again, thinking about the show Holliston, it's like, was there even an idea? Would there ever even been an idea of having an imaginary friend if Oderus, wasn't your friend and this was his character?
Yeah.
Who else could have done that role?
Right.
Again, I say after Dave's passing, I feel like if there was any other member of Gwar that could have done it, it was Postulus. But
would that even happen? Yeah, it's all anecdotal, but I mean, this is like, it's probably not.
Right?
It's safe
because
to presume,
I mean, listen, no one will ever be Dave. No one can ever touch what Dave did. And I know the big thing is, it's like, well, Dave was stupid. He did heroin and he overdosed. And it's really sad knowing that's what happened.
And there's a narrative that is.
Yeah, it's sad because, I was watching that Live from the Dog Pound, I think it was called, the Dave Brockie Experience concert. And that's one of the things he's talking about. He's like, don't ever do heroin. Heroin's bad. And then it's like, shortly after watching that, buying the DVD, like somebody was selling it on, I think it was Gwar Fans Unite or possibly off of eBay or whatever it was. And I'm watching that and it's like just hearing him say that. And then like, that's how he passed. I'm like, how are you telling people not to do fucking heroin if that's how you died? I mean, I don't know. They say it was an accidental overdose. I don't, because I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that Dave was such a fucking junkie.
Yeah.
It's still 12 years later, I still don't want to believe that. I still can't.
I don't believe it myself.
I feel like it wasn't an accident. I feel like someone sold him some fucking bad shit.
Spike.
Knew it was bad shit.
Yeah.
Said, here, take this, pal.
Dude, and here's the thing too, and I just want to add to this point. I know this is getting more into the, once again, the conspiratorial, but this is not a new aspect. Like, this is, if you watch and follow Hollywood in general, I'll just use Hollywood as a general umbrella.
Okay.
This is not a new MO. A lot of many talented actors, musicians have been, undone. It's you look at Heath Ledger, right? Take your fucking pick. It's just, there are you have star whackers, and a lot of times the easiest way to get somebody out of the way is to spike their vices. Like it's everyone has vices. When you're famous, there's a lot of scrutiny. You're performing a lot, and you have a lot of accessibility. And accessibility is the doorway to your own demise. Because when you indulge and you live the lascivious lifestyles that these people do, you're going to have a lot of stuff thrown at your face, like thrown at your doorstep. And and if you have any enemies, or if there's any benefit to you being taken out, that last bump you take may be just that, and I look at it as no exception. Did Dave do heroin? Probably. I mean, they all did. He lived the punk rock lifestyle. Like, he had that lifestyle. But did he intentionally do enough to kill himself? I contest that he probably had a spike dose and did what probably would have been a normal high, if presuming he did, intentionally take this stuff. And that was it. Easy to do. Dude, it's been done before dozens and dozens of times. Many, many famous people, whether it be musicians, actors, they all go out in some kind of overdose, and it's very easy because you can't. No one's there. We're not there to see the body. We're not there to examine the body. We're not there to see the circumstances, to examine the items they took. It's all we have is the words that we get from the officials. And as you know, as I've said many times, the world's a stage. Believe none of what you see and half of what you hear. And I can only presume that that was an intentional act. And once again, you feel free to disagree with it. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm just trying to put out a different narrative that is obviously contradictory to what we're told.
Well, yeah, because we're both Gwar fans.
Mm-hmm.
We've been Gwar fans at this point for what, 32 years?
Yeah.
Or at least me.
Range.
For you, it's like 30, 34.
Yeah. I mean,
whatever.
not much longer, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But knowing that he passed away the way he passed away, it just doesn't sit right. It's like,
doesn't. It's because it feels off.
Right. And but it's not just that. It's just, I just don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. Because even if it did come back that it actually was his doing, I still don't want to believe it. Because it's like when you hear about certain friends or people who died a certain way, it's like you don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Because because of how you
that.
felt about that person.
Right.
I loved listening to Dave Brockie. I loved listening to Gwar. I loved listening to DBX, Death Piggy, all the shit that he's done. And it's just very saddening. It's very saddening and maddening because it's just so, even 12 years later, hard to take.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like, and I get your point of view. Like, I'm a little different. Like,
I totally get your point of view. And
like, if he did do it, I'm okay with that in the sense that it is what it is, like that platitude. Right. But to me, I have my spidey sense went off when that happened. I'm going, I smell foul play. And I have every right to believe foul play until proven otherwise. I've yet to see it proven otherwise. I've just been told general consensus that, he overdosed. Okay. And keep on walking. It's like, and it's easy to hide behind that because it's too late now to go back and like examine everything and scrutinize.
Right. But in not wanting to accept.
Oh no, yeah.
That's why my mind goes to like
I
what you're talking about.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that for me, I can accept it if it's true. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm all about the truth, and I'll accept any truth as long as it's the truth, whether it's beneficial to know or not. Is in a sense of whether it's nice to know. Like if the truth sucks, and it's like, and I don't want to hear it, I still want to hear it. Like, because I'll accept what I love, truth, whatever it is. Not versions of the truth, not distortions, not my truth. Truth is not possessive. It's just the truth. You either say it or you don't. You either live it or you don't. And whatever the truth is with Dave, I'm fine with it. I just don't believe we're told the truth. I believe there's a lot more to his death. And I feel it's far more orchestrated than it is organic and incidental. That's just my opinion. Once again,
Yeah.
My opinion, our opinion, I should say, and you're more than welcome to disagree with it. We're not even trying to. We're not trying to change minds. We're just simply trying to
Right.
point out different points of view.
Because we're big fans.
Yeah,
You know,
we're genuine fans. Like we are
and
hardcore fans from him.
yeah, I mean, and again, anybody could say that it's all, conspiracy theories and conspiratorial, however you want to put it. It's just how we feel.
Yeah.
Big fans of the band, lovers of fucking Gwar, Dave Brockie.
Yeah.
It's just how we feel.
Dude, and it's
But-
like another thing too is just a little dovetail for this is with that. I do my best to always be as objective as possible. I have subjective rants and I'll have subjective feelings, but I'll always remain objective with things. And it's like, once again, I feel that there's something fishy about his death, and I'm saying that from an objective point of view. I'm a hardcore fan. I miss Dave. I wish he was still here. I wish the band was still going with him, but all things come to an end. But until I see otherwise, I'm going to feel and going to believe that there's more to that.
Yeah, because there's so many things going on now that I would love to hear Dave talk about.
Oh yeah, could you imagine the field day he would have with the Trump era, like the Biden era?
Fuck yeah, yeah. The whole fucking COVID.
Yeah.
As much as I hate using the word,
the pandemic, like he would have had we would have had albums.
Well, yeah, we
it.
started it.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I fucked a bat.
Yeah.
Then I fucked a rat.
Dr.
Then
Seuss.
my seed got stuck. Oh, yeah, right.
I do not like you with a chair.
Everybody get in your house because I fucked a mouse. I would have, dude, like those were the times that like you really miss hearing Dave talk, hearing what he has to say about what's going on in the world.
We are missing
especially now, man. We're like, and the people who are becoming new fans really missed out also.
Yeah.
And again, I've said this, when we talked about this a little bit in depth the last time we spoke about Gwar, I'll always say, of all the bands that I've seen live, seeing Roger Waters live, Eric Clapton live, Cream live, all great fucking shows, Carlos Santana, all great live shows, all great fucking performers, just never got that same feeling, that same chill down my fucking spine that I did when Oderus would walk out on stage. Because it was just fucking Oderus.
Yeah. It was just in it, and you feel it. When somebody's in it, and in it to win it, you feel it. You know it. It's just there. When you're in the zone, you're in character.
Yeah, and it's like when you talk about like the turmoil that may have been like among the band when he was around, whether they were fighting, whatever, it didn't show on stage.
And that's all that really matters, honestly.
Yeah, because dude,
it's showtime. It's showtime.
I can't tell you how many times I've been in arguments and fights with my band before getting out on stage, and we put on a fucking great show. At least by our standards and the standards of the 12 people who came.
You could
to
be
see us.
cursing each other out on the way from the curtain to the stage, but as soon as the song starts, it's not about
exactly,
you. It's
man.
about
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like we're putting our arms around each other. We're fucking rocking out together, and it's like, that was the thing, man. If there was anything going on backstage, you didn't see it you didn't see it while it was on stage.
Yeah, not now.
It was, it felt like it was more about the fans then than it is now.
It should be. It should be about the fans because they're there to see what you perform.
Yeah. And I think that what it is about the fans now, about Gwar, like for Gwar, for the fans, it's just continuing to get people to come to the shows and buy their shit. Because, dude, for like 3 years, like the merch never changed.
Yeah.
Like during the whole like Blood of Gods era, fucking dude, for like 3 years in a row, their t-shirts were the same design, just different dates on the back. My dumbass has all three of them, but to me, it's like, well, no, it's a different shirt. It's got to because I fell for it. I'm not gonna lie, I fell for it. I love the design. That's all I can really say about it. The whole Keep logo and all that shit. But like that's all it was. And again, when I bought shit on their fucking website, the merch was fucking shit. Complete shit. Fucking
And that's always a telltale sign when quality dives without any recognition of it. You know, it's usually a sign that they're just in it for the money. Like,
yeah.
in other words,
anyway.
you're not fans anymore. You're just like the sardines in SpongeBob, just like the faceless, just mindless plebes, just out there, and you're just money.
So let's get back to talking more about Dave. Enough fucking pooping. Enough of the Gwar poop. Let's talk about the man. Fucking one of the things we mentioned earlier when we were talking about the look of Dave Brockie as fucking Oderus. From what I understand, from what I believe, is that look was based off of Night of the Demon or Curse of the Demon, that old black and white movie,
by the way. Yeah.
Great fucking movie. Yeah. And for its time,
100%.
That fucking demon, 100% for that time. That fucking demon was sick looking, man.
Dude, that would have gave me nightmares if I was like 5 and watched that.
Fuck yeah, man. But dude, like knowing that, watching that movie, knowing that Oderus's face was based off of that character.
It had to have been.
Obviously you could see it. Yeah, you could totally see it. And I'm like, oh,
what a great source though. Dude, what a great thing to make. Like that's a great foundation because that creature was awesome.
Right, and it also makes you realize, like, he's a lot like us. He fucking loves horror movies.
Yeah.
Not that you couldn't tell by what he does, by what Gwar does. It's like, no, I really just watch rom-coms.
Really hid in ambiguity, like you couldn't tell.
But I mean, but again, that's something that sounds like something Dave would have said in jest. It's like, well, I'm really into rom-coms. Those are my favorite type of movies.
Dude, I mean, remember the Spice Girls? Yeah, my favorite band.
They're my favorite band. Yeah.
As he wrapped his arm around me to take a picture. They're my favorite band.
Yeah, and when but also when we took the picture of Zach Blair and Mike Dirks, they're holding up a Britney Spears CD.
Had the
and they had that, like Mike Dirks had that smile, like, oh, I'm in love. It's like, isn't this sweet?
It was so good, yeah.
And it was such good times, man. And it's like, one of the things Mike Dirks said, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the correct phrase. It's just something about how the world is just not going to be as good of a place without Dave in it.
Yeah.
And that's
an honest response there.
And it's just, hearing him say that, it's like, yeah, dude, he's right. It's like, I didn't know him personally.
Yeah.
We
met him, but
I got lucky enough to meet him on numerous occasions. Got to see him play live on numerous occasions. Dude, we're very lucky that we got to see Dave Brockie as Oderus live because, I'm still in some of the Gwar fan groups, and I'll comment when it's something that I feel like commenting on. Like, I'm not going to jump in and like totally shit on something because I don't like something that Gwar is doing now.
Which is tough for you because you're Mr. Engagement.
I am Mr. Engagement. And it's like, I mean, listen, it's like, people are fans, people get excited about, because Gwar's on tour right now. I think they played in Albany last night or tonight. People are excited to see them. People want to see like what the merch is. I looked at the merch. I think I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah.
Not impressed. And I'm not just saying that because
of the ire. It's like a genuine,
right. It's genuine. It really is. I mean, dude. Back when we saw Gwar,
like I looked at it too, even open-minded. I'm like, yeah,
dude, the artwork on the older fucking shirts. I mean, come on, nothing beats that Sly Munster shirt we had, where she was like,
dude,
what was the god or goddess that she was supposed to be?
The Hindu goddess.
Was it Krishna? Not Krishna. Vishnu, I think. Yeah,
it's Vishnu.
Where in each arm, each hand had a fucking, one of the Gwar members' heads, and like right? Obviously, when Brockie passed away, they put out this shirt, the Dave Brockie rest in, it's got 1963 to 2014. And it's a picture of him in the Oderus outfit, but without the mask. Yeah. With the long, when he had the long hair. I'm not going to turn around, but it's got the Death Piggy logo on the back. When I originally got this, I got it in a 2X. This is, 1X, that's why it's so tight and makes me look fucking sexy. But obviously when this shirt came out, this memorial shirt, it's like I gotta have that, because it's Dave. It's not like the greatest picture, but it depicts him like
a memorial. It
depicts him as Oderus and as Dave.
Yeah,
in between the man and the character. So that's what was appealing to me. May not be,
Symbology.
it's like you see him like, after a show, all sweaty, makeup running down his face. I even have the poster they were selling when they had the memorial service for him at the National, which is like the big club in Virginia, in Richmond, I guess it is. It said R.I.P. Dave Brockie on the
like the rafters,
the marquee,
like the marquee, yeah.
on the marquee, yeah. So I have that, and going to the Gwarbecue when he passed away, it was quite the experience, because on stage, it was at Haddad's Lake. They had the stage set up. They had a bunch of speakers like, Adam Green, again, from Holliston, writer, director, the Hatchet movies, cool fucking guy. Got to meet him, years later at a convention. And Jello Biafra.
Oh, dude, you met Jello Biafra, yeah.
I didn't meet him.
Oh,
I didn't get to actually meet him. No, he was on stage, like, talking about.
You gotta love Jello, man, just for his contributions, like to Skullhead Face and
and
Dead Kennedys.
Yeah. So who else? Slimenstra came back. She was there for that.
Love Slimy, man. She was great.
Yeah, she was great. She was. And they sang Danny Boy, but they sang it as Davy Boy.
Yeah.
And then they had the Viking funeral where they had one of his costumes on a mannequin
out in the lake,
floating out across the lake, and they shot it with the fiery arrow. And in the section where I was standing by the water, I started singing The Road Behind. A few people joined in. It wasn't like you
didn't start the wave.
Right, exactly. I was
more of a ripple.
I was trying to do Jeff Goldblum starting the wave. A few people started.
I got a ripple.
And it's funny because, like, looking at some of the pictures that, like, people, like, I know that some people, like, enhanced, like, how big the fire was. It wasn't as big as, like, some of the pictures show.
Yeah, it's not as Hollywood looking.
Yeah. It was a sad moment because it was, like, so final.
Yeah.
It's like, this is it.
It's finality at its finest. Like, you're looking at the visual end. Like, it's the significant, like, to me, and I've said this many times, like, when I leave this vessel, like this body, I want this body in a Viking funeral. I want that. That's, I just put it out in the fucking boat, just set it on fire and let it return back into the earth.
Yeah. It's like how when people lose weight, they throw out the clothes that they used to wear. It's like, these will always be too big for me now. I don't need them. I'm throwing them away. It's like, this body is useless to me now. Just fucking burn it.
Well, it's the most emblematic signifier. It's like you're watching it like literally just up in flames. I love the symbology behind it. And so you must have been overwhelmed with the finality of it because you're watching it like,
and it's like ritual. Yeah, I knew it was just his costume on
but it's still
a mannequin.
Once again, symbology.
The symbolism of it was just really overwhelming, because Gwar has been our favorite band for so fucking long. And just seeing, Gwar's front thing, being sent off into Valhalla, just kind of, it was see that show, the next day was the show. Yeah. You could hear Michael Bishop like breaking up while he was singing The Road Behind.
Yeah, especially that song. You got to You got if you're human, you have to at least feel some emotionality.
Hearing his voice crack during that song, like hearing him like really, the emotion was real.
Yeah. I believe it 100%.
Yeah. The emotion was real. And that hit everybody. Like you could see that everybody caught that and everybody was like, oh my God. You realize what Dave Brockie meant to us as an entertainer, a performer, celebrity, frontman, singer, songwriter, all that stuff. What he meant to us as people just looking on, and how much we loved him from where we were compared to where he is, and just thinking about how those who were close to him felt being close to him. Because we're just onlookers. We're just outsiders. And we're enjoying, we enjoyed the ride from the time that we started listening to the Gwar to the Gwar, from the time we started listening to Gwar to this point, but they knew him.
Yeah.
You know, they wrote songs with him. They shared
worked with
meals
him.
with him.
They lived with him. Yeah.
They shared stories. They shared laughs. They shared such a huge part of their life with this man. So just knowing that and hearing Bishop's voice crack during that song, you know the pain that he felt, because we all felt it from our perspective.
Right.
And him actually knowing him, doing everything that they did together, so fucking heartbreaking.
And seeing that like behind the veil for a brief moment, you know, just
Yeah, exactly.
that
Seeing
actual
the man-
humanity from him.
Yeah, it was touching. You know,
Yeah,
it was touching. It was
absolutely,
painful.
dude.
It was just
Dude, we said it before, but like he, you know, Dave, for us, like us too, as diehard Gwar fans growing up in our formidable years, you know, watching him and like and listening to them and gaining whatever, you know, wisdom and jokes and what have you from all the albums and just interviews and movies, left an indelible mark. Like we'll forever
yeah.
have reverence for it. Like it's because he was one of the best. He really was. Like
Yeah.
he was just one of the best frontmen. He was just such a personality that persona will always transcend those that choose to watch it. So
Yeah.
I'm so fortunate that we have the interviews on YouTube. You have the albums to listen to. You have, you know, like just take your pick. The medium's there. It's just, and all we could fall back on is that now, you know. But
Yeah.
I look back with a smile because it's incredible.
And we do have our own personal memories.
Right.
May not
We were
necessarily
fortunate
be
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, may not necessarily be like an actual personal experiences in, you know, being with him, but being in his presence,
Right.
being at concerts that he was at. Because again, being part of being a part of like Gwar Fans Unite, Slaves of Gwar for Life, you know, these are groups on Facebook, and seeing some people like, hey, this is my first Gwar show, and it's like, oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's where my mind goes. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and it's again, you know, I have my contention with Bishop and all
Right.
that, but it's not about that.
No,
You know, it's not even about what one might think about Bishop as the front man. It has
no,
nothing
it's
to do
about
with
just
that.
missing out on
It's the
what
fact-
existed
yeah.
before. Yeah.
It's the fact that this person's first Gwar show is not a Dave Gwar show.
Yeah.
We are like anybody who got to see Gwar with Dave Brockie fronting the band are very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
They're very lucky that they didn't, you know, because, you know, some people are like, yeah, you know, I'm going to see this band one day, you know, and then like because like, look, I saw Guns N' Roses in 2017, you know, they weren't Axl didn't sound as bad as he does now.
Right.
But
Before he turned full Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
right. So I'm glad that I got to see that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, back in the 90s, I didn't get to see them. It's like, yeah, you know, I'd love to see them. And then, you know, then it's like they broke up. It's like, oh, I'm never going to see them again. And then it's like, then they got back. It's like, oh, finally got to see them. It's like, if you did that with Gwar and you never saw them back while while Dave was alive and they were touring with him, and now you see them, it's like, you fucking missed out.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you did.
Dude, and that's like, I mean, you could use this with everything. TV shows, movies. There's nothing like experiencing something, whether it's in person or at home, when it's actively out. You know, like when it's like, you know, it's when a TV show, like watching, like, dude, my favorite show, Buffy. Watching Buffy when it was out is so much better, like, than just watching it now, when years after it's been done. Same thing with Gwar, right? Like, dude, my first rock show as a kid was Guns N' Roses, Metallica. Right.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to see that, but at the same time, conversely, I'm also pissed because one of my all-time favorite bands is Faith No More. They were opening. I missed that because my uncle didn't want to go. So I missed out on Faith No More back in their prime. You know, like now, I may never get a chance to see them again because there's internal issues now with Mike Patton, you know, not wanting to perform anymore. But so I share that in the sense, like, for new Gwar fans that never got to see old Gwar, like, I'll never get to see old Faith No More because I missed out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, because but it's like, obviously, it's like if Faith No More decided to continue with a different singer,
Yeah.
and you went to see them, it's like, yeah, you missed out on something good, though.
But it's just one of those things, man. It's like
you
when
missed
it's
out
there.
on you missed out on the real thing. See, another weird thing was seeing Gwar as like as somewhat of an opening band.
Mhm.
You know, because they opened sort of like they were one of the like sort of opening bands during that Viva La Bam tour.
Mm.
And
Which is interesting because like the nature of their show, it's like, how do you open? You got to clean all that shit up.
Yeah.
Like,
how are you? Yeah.
Not even status wise, just production. Like they're the type of band that they need to close because
yeah. And I thought that was weird because, you know, Cradle of Filth played after them and Cradle of Filth was, you know, the closer basically.
Right. I mean, I love Cradle.
I was never a fan of them. Like we left after Gwar played. And we're just like, all right.
Trust me, I understand that.
Yeah. Gwar being an opening band, like Gwar, they played their set. It wasn't like what it would be if they were the main
Closers,
event, the headliners, but it was a Gwar show. You know, it was a good Gwar show, but after that, I was like, all right, I'm out. Me and my buddies were like, yeah, I don't want to fucking stay for this shit. Let's just go. You know, it was like seeing Pantera open for Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Like the Black Sabbath reunion show. And I mean, Pantera was fucking awesome. They opened with Domination, which was fucking insane.
Dude, you got a better Pantera show than I did, man. I got Ozfest when Phil was fucking gone.
Oh,
it was so depressing because he was just literally he was laying on a speaker for half the set.
Oh my god!
Like he was like it was the like when you watched the turmoil that was Pantera at the end of their like you were I watched it like I watched Phil being medicating and just being a fucking mess.
I mean, listen, man. Phil Anselmo was another one who was into that shit. Died 3 times and got brought back 6 times, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I mean, look,
I love Phil, dude. I mean, fortunately, he's still alive. He's still funny as hell. Still doing great. His voice sounds great. Still, it's.
Yeah,
I think half his spine now is all fused together, but so he can't really move around that much.
Yeah.
But
when you come to a Pantera show, you're gonna get a good fucking show. That was my Phil. It's not that good, but. Do you ever sing other songs as other people? Because like I'll sing songs as Dave Brockie, as Oderus all the time.
Oh, I fucking remember shit. Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Whenever, like if I'm listening to like Pantera, I'll try to sing it as like as Oderus.
Yeah.
Like even like the songs off of Blood of Gods, like I'll start singing it as Oderus just for fun.
Can you?
I'll be sitting there like singing a song like let's say I'm singing like. Walk or something, can you see I'm easily bothered by persistence? I don't do a good Phil. And it's like take it, Oderus. It's like one step from lashing out at you,
Dude, yeah, because especially with Oderus,
it's like take it, Glenn.
So
Take it, I'm not scared. Call yourself a friend. Oh, so it's like those are like the 3 that I kind of do.
Those are the fallbacks.
Yeah, so it's like doing Oderus like singing fucking El Presidente. I want to wait. What is it? I want to kill the government. I want to do it done. I can't remember all the lyrics. Like I haven't heard the song.
I don't
in a
like
while.
the song. That's
yeah.
Like I know you love that song, and I try to listen to it.
Just stop and smell the decay of what you've given your life to build. Oh! That was my Danzig mixed in.
Dude, it's great, man.
You underestimate, like just because he would have gone that like just listening to like some of the newer Gwar songs and like not fucking.
The only part that is the lyrics would have been completely different. He would have,
definitely not fucking the new. What is it called? The New Dark Ages. I wasn't a fan of it the first listen through, so never really went back to it. Still haven't opened the actual records.
Dude, I listened to it and I thought the New Dark Ages was actually, in my personal opinion, overall, I thought it sounded better than the Blood of the Gods.
This is the first time I ever realized that you don't fucking know shit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. Dude, everybody's got their flavor, man.
But the reason I said that is because, and I told you this back when I was listening to it, because we were like polar opposites. Like you love Blood of the Gods, I hated Blood of the Gods. And then when was it New Dark Ages? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
When that came out, you hated that, and I didn't love it, but I was like, I actually think this is better. Like I just thought the sound was overall better, and the reason is, and I said this back when I was listening to it to you through memo, I was like, it's because they took a lot of old great riffs and just rehashed them in the songs. It's kind of like they Metallica'd it, like they just took like, let's just take a bunch of these songs and just throw it against the wall. Like I didn't think they were great songs. I just thought overall I enjoyed it a little bit more than Blood of the Gods. That's all. And that's not, I'm not singing much. Like I still didn't like it. Like I want to make that abundantly clear. Like I didn't like it. I just
stop and smell the decay of what you've given your life to build.
There was there were a handful of songs.
I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, you're fine.
It's just,
there was a couple of songs that I didn't like. I was like, this riff is pretty cool. I dig the riff,
Yeah.
And that was about it.
I get it.
I still didn't like it overall.
Yeah. I mean, I keep telling myself, and I've told myself since, that I wanted to try and listen to it again, just to give it another. It was just it was just so unappealing the first time around. I was just like, I don't know if I want to sit through this album again. And again, I bought the record because it's not even so much about supporting them; it's about being the collector.
I was about to say it's a collectorism, man.
It's a collector thing. Yeah, dude. I even bought the fucking the Return of Gwar.
Yeah,
I bought it just because.
Dude, I love the thought of Return to Gwar, but it's like I don't like it. Yeah, like the way it's done now.
Well, I saw that because this is the Return of Gwar tour.
Yeah,
they're doing. I guess the song is called Return of Gwar, and they're not doing the actual Gwar song.
Mm.
Which, of course, it's like if Gwar is there, you got to do Crack in the Egg and then Gwar.
I mean, you would think so. I mean, at least I would think so, but...
Yeah, I mean...
What do I know?
But again, I don't know what the storyline is now, nor do I really care that much to find out.
I feel like it's too little too late for me, but... Hey,
yeah.
New fans, enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you want the origin, go to America Must Be Destroyed.
Well, but see, that's the other thing, too, because a lot of times, if you're into a band after there's a new singer and you love the shit, some people might listen to the old singer and be like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? They sucked. Like that singer
that's
sucks.
100% possible, yes.
100%. So that bothers me though.
It bothers me too.
Because Dave was such a unique singer. He was doing the screaming and singing before it became like a more popular thing. Now, his singing voice might not have been, the greatest singing voice for other bands that weren't Gwar, and I'm not saying that he's not. Some people might be like, well, he sings like this and, like this, does all kinds of different voices. But again, that came with the whole experimentation. Like Mike Patton,
right?
Well,
I mean, it's the personality. Like you're getting the full spectrum, like all the inflections, nuances. It's what makes the singers that you love so good. Like Mike Patton, dude. Mike Patton uses his voice as an instrument. Like he does. Yeah. He has so many projects, from doing like 1930s Italian songs to doing Fantomas, which is just sounds. Like they all have to have the sheet music there because it's hard to remember everything. You just, it's all instrumentation. It's so like, dude, Mike Patton, one of my all-time favorite singers that's still alive and still has a prolific voice. And Dave, to me, didn't have the pipes that Mike Patton had, but he had the personality can make up for lack of vocal prowess. And Dave just had such personality to his voice that how can you not adore it? It's so good. It's so enjoyable. So many nuances to his voice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Gwar song off of Bloody Pit that was said to be a tribute to Pete Steele.
You mentioned this to me the other day,
and I
offered Carnivore only because that sounded like the closest thing.
Okay.
Here comes the Carnivore.
That might be it. Yeah.
It's a short song, but that's a very special album to me because that's when I got back into them. Remember, I was in Florida at the time, and I just, you kind of go in and out with bands, and I didn't listen to them for years, and they came out with multiple albums. And then all of a sudden I saw like an ad for Bloody Pit of Horror, and that blew me up. Like I was like, it was like Krakatoa, man. I was just like, this album's, it's one of my favorite albums from them. I love that album so much.
All right. So I looked it up. It is Come the Carnivore.
And I love that song in particular.
Well, because on top of, using the title using the word carnivore from
Right, carnivore.
Pete Steele's band prior to Typo Negative. It was the style in which it was made that it was like very like Typo Negative sounded slow and sort of gothic
brooding and just built.
Yeah.
And it was short too. It was kind of almost like an interstitial between the songs, you know, around. And
yeah,
I forget the lineup of the songs now.
Yeah, and I remember because like Bloody Pit was one of those albums that I haven't listened to a lot.
Yeah,
you know, they recently re-released it on vinyl, and I have the picture disc vinyl that they came out with, like through like Gwar Fans Unite. Same thing with Lust in Space.
Yeah,
first vinyl releases of both of those were picture discs, if I'm not mistaken. You know, because I have those. Didn't open the Bloody Pit. Only opened Lust in Space because like the side of the record cover was ripped.
right.
You know. And, you know, I wrote to the person I bought it from, and I was like, hey, listen, the side of this is ripped. She's like, oh, do you think you can open it to see if the record's damaged? I'm like, okay. You know, I didn't want to, but I was like, all right. And I was like, yeah, the record looks fine. She gave me like half of what I paid for it back just for that. And I'm like, okay, thank you, you know. But being a record collector is another fucking thing altogether, because when it comes to Gwar records, you know, when it came to Blood of Gods, man, there were like 8 different colors, schemes for that record. I do have them all, even the one that came out in Germany when fucking
you bought right into it.
Yeah, America Must Be Destroyed released for Record Store Day. You know, I bought the one that came out in the US, which was a double disc and a pop out. So when you open it, Gorgor pops out of the fucking record, which is fucking awesome.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I got the German release, which was single disc orange vinyl. Scumdogs of the Universe came out on RSD. I think it was either the year before I think it was the year after America Must Be Destroyed. So I got the Record Store Day one on black vinyl. And when you open it, you know, the logo that's on the inside of the CD pops out.
Yeah.
You know, and I got the German releases. I think they were German. One was like ice blue and one was like blood red, you know, but like
ice
splatter.
Blue, that sounds fucking right.
Yeah, I still haven't opened it yet. So
How
it's really
dare you?
because you know what it is? It's like some of them are numbered. So those ones are numbered. So it's like, you know, whichever one of, I don't know how many they made. Let's say they made like 300. It's like I have number 253 out of 300, or like 175 out of 300.
Always limited runs, usually.
Yeah. So I have that. Battle Maximus, you know, I have like the black record from like the initial release, but again, another record that I bought through like, it was either eBay or Gwar Fans Unite, which is also numbered. That one also had a blood splatter record, which I wish I didn't know about because I still kind of want it.
Got it.
Well, no, because like this was before I was collecting records, so like I didn't even know they existed
before the obsession.
Right, exactly. So you know, then there were the re-releases of Bloody Pit and Lust in Space, which I got from Clockwork Records. There was a re-release of Hello that I got through Amazon, but I have the original releases from a dude, again, through like Gwar Fans Unite, sold me both of those releases. One was black vinyl, one was red vinyl. Sold them both to me for like $70, which
is a good deal.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah. What else? Oh, dude, I got like, you know,
I got them all.
Oh, dude, fucking, you see this? Obviously the CD's not in it right now because I have it in a different cover. You see that?
Yeah.
This is the promo copy of Carnival of Chaos. Mm-hmm. And the difference is, there's really only one difference that I believe is during the Private Pain of Techno Destructo.
What's the difference with it?
You remember when they would do Private Pain of Techno Destructo live?
Yeah.
The music would stop and they would do like the music from like, I think it was Star Trek. It's like doon 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 doon, and it's like din 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 din.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is that the Star Wars?
That's in the actual song, but they had to remove it because I guess they didn't have like the rights. Yeah. So I got that. Yeah. I got the fucking, you know, I got Hello.
I got it all.
I got the Hello Shimmy disc release on CD, the one that has black and
the
one that has black and huge on it.
Yeah.
I got them all stacked over here because I was looking through them, like not even before doing this episode,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, fucking, what do I got here? Let's see some of the stuff. Oh yeah, again, the original
Yeah.
Scumdogs of the Universe
God, the
release.
tape. The
Yeah,
cassette tape.
the remake.
Yes.
You know,
remake is definitely interesting.
it's interesting. I'm not that big of a fan of it.
Neither am I, but I appreciate the effort though.
It's like saying, yeah, nice try.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I didn't want to be so condescending, but yeah, it's a quick summation. Nice try.
Yeah.
I love King Queen. It's one of my favorite songs in an album, and just like 20 minutes of it, it's like,
Yeah, they made it like an hour long.
yeah, it's like I'm all for it, but it's it's so superfluous. It didn't really add anything to the song.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I was so excited for it. I'm like, oh wow, like a longer King Queen, and I'm like,
Yeah. Because I remember when I ran into you, I was like, dude, did you hear the new fucking and you're like, no. I'm like, dude, King Queen is like, because I can remember that was your favorite song.
It was, yeah. It's
And I was like, yeah, dude, it's like a longer version, whatever. And like,
and I remember you said that, and I came back and listened to it. I'm like, this is
I didn't say it was good.
No,
I
no,
just said it's a longer version. It was more to see what you thought of it.
It was my personal excitement at the thought of it, and I was just like, yeah, okay. Like,
it's like, what's all this extra shit here?
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
What did you do to the bass sound? I didn't like what they did with the bass sound. I
didn't really like what they did with any of it. Like, it was just,
it was. I mean, dude, but for some reason they did the same thing with Battle Maximus.
Yeah.
I don't know why they had to change that. Like on their 10-year anniversary, it's like, dude, why did you change this? Because like the beginning of Fallen, you just hear the guitars like ding ding, and they changed it. I forgot what they did for the new one because I haven't listened to it often. But I bought that record thinking like, oh, okay, cool. It's just like I thought it was going to be like a remastered version of the album, but it wasn't. It was more like a fucking remix. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? And I do have, like I said, I do have that record, like the original record, which has "Carry On My Wayward Son" and "The Wheel."
The Wheel.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've said this numerous times throughout this episode. Anybody who got to see Dave Brockie play, whether it was with Gwar, Dave Brockie Experience, even if you saw Gwar as Rog, which is Gwar doing Gwar songs out of costume, or even if like back in the day got to see him with Death Piggy, you got to see something fucking special. Because I will say it again, there is nobody who I have ever seen on stage that did what Dave did. The aura to him, the energy, the spectacle, the entertainment. Because he is the performer. You know what I'm saying? And he performed.
And boy,
he did a great. Yeah. I mean, so many fucking great memories. I mean, dude, you remember at that Connecticut show when he was blowing a blood load all over that chick that was standing next to us?
Yeah.
That chick who was all in white. She was wearing like white tight pants and a matching like shirt that had her midriff showing. She's just standing there. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, miss. Welcome to the show." Like just fucking blowing up. And I remember standing there looking at it. And, obviously like I was getting splashback from it. I'm like, oh man, that's fucking awesome. And he could get away with it, but definitely a lot of what he wrote in his songs, what came out in the lyrics is what kind of built a new sense of humor for me. I mean, back then, obviously that's my sense of humor now, where it's like, you understand that there are certain things that you can joke about and not be afraid to joke about it, because once you do, you realize that everything's a fucking joke. No, but there's a lot of shit that you deal with in life that you can laugh about. And he made that apparent.
And you should, you got to laugh at times.
Yeah. Like listening to Gwar, listening to his lyrics, listening to his voice just really opened up a lot of shit for me. Whether it was something that's really happening in the world, whether it was something that, whether it opened up my sense of humor, as I said, it really helped me to understand that like you can laugh at certain things. Yeah. You should laugh at certain things.
Dude, like the satirical tones and the unbridled gallows humor that was Oderus' style was just something that it shaped our personalities. It's, when you're younger, and you're just a sponge absorbing everything. You're going to pick your heroes or even mini heroes, whatever you want to call them at the time growing up. And you would hear like our personalities, and not just us two, but like anybody that's out there. When you're an adult, it's an amalgamation of things and people that you love growing up. And he's one of the focal points. Like, we love music. So many heroes that we could relate to, from Glenn Danzig to Pete Steele, Chris Cornell, Dave Brockie, Kurt Cobain, even there's so much to really facet, like, to your mind and your personality. And just Dave was we had to take time just to really celebrate the man, the myth, the legend that was Dave. And, not just make this an ire, session, but just to really just make this a reminder of the fun aspects and the beauty and the memories that we get to embrace. Because when you leave this earth and you leave this vessel, this body, all you get to bring with you is your memories and the wisdom that you gained. And we have that. And just take a moment in time just to enjoy it. Forget about the bullshit around it, all the negative circumstances and the questionable conspiratorial stuff. Just embrace the greatness that was Dave Brockie.
Well said. And, it just reminded me of one other thing.
Do tell.
It reminded me of when we got the Ex-Cops album.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, we still didn't actually know what Gwar looked like.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out
Who's
by the
who.
picture on the back of who was who.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, look
What
at
a
that tattoo on his
daunting
arm.
task. Yeah.
Is that, and it's like, 'cause
That's how bad it was back then, though. Like, there was no information. Like,
exactly.
Like, yeah, you had to, like,
Look
literally,
at-
like, oh, I think that's his arm. I think it's his arm.
Exactly. Because, like, you see the tattoo on, the cop with the Hitler mustache,
No, it's totally, because that's how it was. Like, that's all we had. Like,
right. But it's like, then you're looking at a picture of Oderus, he's got like a big gauntlet over, and it's like, well, you see a little bit peeking out over the gauntlet? Like,
that's
is
totally
that the same
it.
one there? Yeah.
I totally remember that. Yeah.
And it was great because we ended up being right. But
It was so revelational because we're like, holy shit, that's what he looks like outside of it.
Yeah. Sort of, with
sort of,
sunglasses, a fucking buzz cut, and a fucking
like he
Hitler
was in
mustache.
costume, just not completely covered like Oderus.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I remember how it was so revelatory. We're like, oh my god, that's a tattoo in his arm. It's a tramp stamp. It's a tramp stamp. It's Dave.
That's him. It's fucking him. We did it.
We win.
We cracked the case.
Yeah, dude, totally.
So here's to Dave Brockie.
Yeah, man.
We miss you. We'll always miss you.
Always, man. Cheers, Dave.
All right. Well, that's it. That's our tribute, our
homage to Dave Brockie. And hope he did it justice, honestly.
Yeah, we did our best. I mean,
it wasn't an organized thing. It was just something we just shooting from the hip and just wanted just to keep it organic, and keep it generally favorable. Like, we're not getting too dark into the mire. We just wanted to really celebrate the man. And we, his death is the anniversary. It's 12 years, and we wanted to spend the 12th episode talking about
remembering him,
the positive aspects, and once again, as I said before, the indelible mark that he left in us and other fans out there. We're not alone, so embrace it.
He was definitely one of our heroes. And in that, I will say, I am Giuseppe.
And I'm Storm.
Thank you very much, and listen to Gwar. Old Gwar.
Old Gwar.
Peace.
Laters.
Bye-bye. Dude, for real, thank you so much for joining us on this special episode celebrating the life of Dave Brockie, Oderus Urungus of Gwar. If you enjoyed what you heard, please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Share it with your enemies. Point is this, even though we're sick of you, we appreciate the support. We hope you come back for future episodes.